as I begin recording.
No brain.
Okay. So, last session we began with Grunker's dream, visions of the battle mere days before of the siege of Drurinholm. His visions portrayed him as the center of a massive humanoid firestorm, cleaving swathes of foes with a great fiery axe. He then sensed the presence of Incendius from the Heartfire crystal, and told him not to ask who the fire burns, but how to direct its fury. Grunker then battled with the fireplace in his room, attempting to tame it. He did so successfully, but not without charring his room in the process. Meanwhile, while Arngrim and Sayun were in the process of creating their mortar cannon, Liska and Vellum ventured to Duinhollow via the Waystone Nexus to Thandra's Keep in order to seek more information about this strange dragon attack site that they discovered last session. Glassed streaks of ground with flecks of ruby crystals. After some shenanigans with the Waystone, you grabbed a contract for a hill giant from the Keep's front desk, conferred with the Keep's public representative, Sahir Vadash, and made your way to speak with the Lord of the Hunt, Rathgar Whitefang, about dragons. In the process of introductions, he updated you about the current goings-on around the Keep, how it's being plied with investigations regarding the raising of Crothis by Balthazar into some sort of twisted monstrosity, all the way back when. And High King Blator Yonmai is apparently growing distrustful and paranoid about the Keep. To that end, the Keep is making efforts to hunt down the creature to possibly regain some favour back from the High King. In addition to the bad news, Elizabeth von Dragul, the son of the most infamous vampire countess in history, currently possessing the body of Rain, a member of the Vampiric Order which was exiled from the Keep, is seemingly on the move in Targovia, Elizabeth's homeland in the northeastern Common Realms. Apparently she's being accompanied by Nathania and Julius, the pair of awakened cult leaders some of you fought in Morkney all those months ago. The legendary vampire hunter Hans van Richter is apparently recruiting hunters to deal with her. Eventually you moved on to the subject of the dragon attack, to which it was revealed to be the work of a ruby dragon, a member of the prismatic dragonflight, as opposed to a red dragon of the chromatic dragonflight. Ruby dragons apparently are the most physically imposing of all prismatics, and are legendary opponents of tyranny and proponents of valorous battles. You were told that prismatics, emerald, diamond, topaz, sapphire, and ruby dragons they're noble and sympathetic to the plight of the younger races. Dragons can apparently shape-shift into humanoid form. Chromatics less often than others. You were also given a tome to borrow, the history of the Brood War. You were then directed on matters of dragons and magic to High Golomatsa Timi Ultaimi, an impish child prodigy who had been invited back to the Keep to upgrade some of the training golems she had been originally commissioned for by the Keep itself. You spoke with her on matters of ancient mythical histories about the elemental titans, their creation of the elemental primordial dragons, and their distant descendants being modern dragons. The ley lines, the astral filament, and eventually you brought up Astria, to which she was baffled and disbelieving before you actually gave her proof in the form of the crystalline blood of Astria herself, which you recovered before her passing. In a flurry of excitement, she asked to study it, and Liska reluctantly chipped off a piece and let her do so. You all parted ways after she gave you a unique earpiece, so she might stay in contact with you if she finds anything of note, and her word that she would keep it safe. With that, you gained a new contact to call on for information about dragons and magic itself. And eventually, you all returned to Druvenholm, where you meet after Arngrim and Sayun's presentation and demonstration of their mortar cannon. So, as you all gather here in front of the Temple of Gundrum, where the Dwarven Inventors Guild resides, what would you like to do?
So what time of day is it?
It's getting on to about late afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's difficult to tell directly in this settlement itself. You know, Dwarven holds, but going outside, you could definitely tell it was late afternoon.
Imagine they also probably have like internal clocks.
Yeah. Druvenholm being a place of clockwork ingenuity. You've seen a few clockwork, clocks around the place.
Yes, you have seen a few clock
Yes.
works. Yes. All right. I know Sable wanted to do something with Valen and Liska, but I mean, I guess we can open with that if you want to.
If you would like.
Unless Sable is
It's
not in here
no.
now.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, I think that was the disconnect we heard before.
Oh dear.
It's
Well,
not here yet.
probably move on to something else while we're waiting for Sable, I guess.
I guess Liska is going to go up to the border folks and just be like, so it's just like a cannon, but it fighters up.
Sal just looks to Arngrim and then nods, basically.
Okay. I mean, I guess that makes does that make it go farther or something?
Aye, pretty much. He shoots
Okay.
farther, shoots over things.
I mean, that makes sense. That's kind of what you do with arrows, right?
I think the term is lobbing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like throwing as a stone. You can either throw it directly at something or try and arc it by, and Sal gestures again to Arngrim, lobbing.
You don't really need to worry about throwing directly and hitting as hard as possible when the stone explodes.
That is also true.
It is true, yes.
Like a
It's not the
firebomb or
most
something.
accurate yet, so it's got a little wiggle wobble room, but you know, that's why it explodes.
But on the plus side, once you fired it, well, you just reload and fire again.
Just like you pick up another rock and throw it again. I like it.
Yes.
So
It's like a very advanced sling.
What is like the turnaround for something like this?
That's a bit tough one. Because we made the prototype in 3 days.
Yes, but a lot of magic was used in the time. So,
What
That
would you
would-
guess if there was no magic involved?
can't really say for sure. We don't know.
If I had to
um,
give like an estimate based on what we used, a bit long time, a couple of weeks, months.
Well, here's the thing. It varies from a couple of weeks to several months. In honesty, we do not know.
Indeed.
It's one of those things that is still, we like the idea, we know how it's done, but there's room for improvement.
Alright, I mean, it is a newly developed weapon. It's not like Ragnarok's created like its war machines in a day. Like it
This is
takes time.
true.
So yeah, I mean,
These things. We were thinking about taking this one and strapping it up on the old steam hammer. And getting a little bit of live fire testing on it, seeing how it really performs and whatnot.
How heavy do you think it is? Liska's like standing there next to it, just kind of looking down contemplatively.
A normal one probably weighs... Shite. 3 dwarves, I'd guess. So maybe...
Sal looks at Arngrim and just be like, so 2.5 of you in armor?
About. His arms kind of like stick up and out a little bit as he turns towards Liska.
Liska is kind of sitting there. She looks at Arms like, she walks over to Arms like, do you mind? She's like holding
Go
her
on,
hands
then.
out. And she's gonna lift up Arngrim
kinda
to see how
wiggles his
heavy he is. Like, She set
You
the back
imagine he's
down.
thinking it's somewhere like around 700 pounds. Once, 2.5 of them,
Yeah. Liska like walks over and she will pick up the mortar by herself
Oh shit.
because she can.
Yeah.
It's like,
See, it is portable. The issue is it's really designed to be more on like rails, this specific one, or mounted to something. The issue is
I can't like use it as a weapon and carry it with me.
if we want that, I would feel better if we got you a cannon, because you see all the gears and the bobs. Those are measurements of very small amounts, and over a great distance, they make a great difference. You might be chiseled like a rock, but you are not completely flat and steady like one. So a small difference in how you hold it could make up a matter of hundreds of feet. The explosion isn't that big, lass. You might want something more direct, or something like my steam vents, where you just kind of point in that general direction, and then it just kills everything over there. You don't really necessarily have to worry about fine angles and precise stability, and just point it, boom, it's dead. Do you want the cannon?
She's gonna like, no, it's fine.
You sure? I could maybe a cannon that shoots fire or steam.
Would be
So
kind of
you
badass.
mean like something that throws flames?
Yes, I
Perhaps
could make you something.
like a flamethrower or something?
Sal just
I
looks
think I
at
could do
Liska.
that. Yes.
Sal looks at Liska for a moment, and then she takes her little turret thing from her shoulder and just holds it in her hands a bit, looks up at Liska's arm and then back to it. Ah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, like that thing. I've seen you do like flames with those before.
There might be an issue, mostly for the fact that size-wise, it would basically be the equivalent of just putting something on the back of your hand. If you want something that you can actually wield, like a weapon, it would probably have to be mounted on your forearm and then with a handle you can grip.
But then you could use your shield or your weapon. Hello.
Oh, hey Granka.
Hello.
How are you
No,
doing?
we're not mounting you on Liska's arm.
Oh man.
That's it, it would be funny.
You would be.
Maybe we could get you like a halfling wizard to stop on the arm. Have them cast burning hands.
Oh. You mean like strap a little man on her? A little wizard dude?
I think I'll have to pass on that one.
Why you don't want to pet?
I don't really see people as pets.
I mean, maybe if they want to.
I mean, I'm not from Indulgence. Maybe that's just more like an Indulgence thing, but
I don't know what that means.
don't king shame.
I don't know what that
I'm
means.
not that familiar with indulgence, but
Fuck's sake.
I think I get where you're going.
In Ragnarok, we have the dominion of okay, all right. I forget that
Hello.
there's just not many people that visit. Yeah, there's 3 dominions in Ragnarok. There's Torment, Doubt, and Indulgence. Indulgence is the one where that kind of thing would be. Well, would be.
Why?
Because it's Indulgence.
I think it's in the name.
What does that mean?
Indulgence?
Yeah.
It's when you indulge in things.
I don't
It's
know. What that
like doing something that you want, even if it's not necessarily the best. Like you indulge in something.
means. Oh. Okay.
But me was from Doubt.
I doubt that.
She kind of pouts at you.
Hehe.
Wait,
Is this drunker right now?
Could be.
I think Balthasar was from indulgence.
I don't remember you saying anything about that.
That would explain the cod piece.
Yeah, that would explain his overall aesthetic.
Though it also explains a lot of things, but regardless.
Yeah, indulgence is just. It's just a lot of
The
individuals.
weird one of the 3.
Well, no, I imagine that all of them would be weird compared to others. Like, I find doubt a little odd, and indulgence a little odd. But I grew up in torment, so.
Fair enough.
You probably find you a little odd.
Hmm.
Sar just looks at the size of Liska and just nods.
There are a lot of people like me in torment.
Your size too?
I'm close. I am on the upper range.
You're tiny.
No, I've yet to see someone who matches me in height. Yeah, at least among my people. But, it is what it is. It just means I am better at protecting. And that is what you do in Torment.
I see.
I mean, are you... Like, is height something that is looked for in Deepling Society?
Yeah, I was close, but no. I mean, I'm pretty tall, I guess, but no, it's not something that's kind of like, unless you're like real big, like real big, then maybe. But other than that, it's just like, oh, it's a tall fella. It's not really something that's like, a big deal.
Really?
Yeah, I like if you're taller than one of the mushroom folk, then people are gonna start looking at you. But other than that, it's just,
Mushroom folk?
yeah. Oh, you don't have those up here. Oh,
Those people
yeah.
who like eat mushrooms or something?
I mean, the muconoids they eat mushroom, but they also are mushroom.
So
It's
they're cannibal mushrooms?
I don't know. I never thought about this. My head hurts.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I think
It
next
wasn't my
time,
intention.
next time I see one, I'm gonna ask.
Are you a cannibal?
Yeah. If you eat this mushroom, or you just mean you're a cannibal? I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, we kind of live down there with them. They help us grow mushrooms, and we help to not get eaten by other people or things.
That's good.
Yeah, we just kind of lean in a little bit and pretty weird.
Yes, I can tell.
Yeah, they like do weird like mind stuff. I don't really follow what they do. It's weird. They like connect with each other. Yeah.
That sounds a lot like the, and she just kind of like thinks for a second, then does like weird tentacle fingers in front of her face.
Vladimir
Yeah,
does
it
it. Vladimir does it as well.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, I think it's more like, it's more like spore based than thought based. I don't know. I'm not really mushrooms. I don't really
It's
know
fine.
how it works.
Understandable. I wouldn't expect you to be a mushroom people expert.
Yeah. But yeah, they're kind of tall.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yep. I guess it is time to. Has anyone ate dinner yet? Because it is getting to that time.
Oh,
Sal just looks to Arngrim and then just. I don't think we have.
I'm sorry.
No, it's more the fact that we've been so busy. I don't think we have ate. Have we?
There's an immediate grumble from Arngrim's stomach. So,
I don't think so.
about that nice dinner. Family sit down. A happy retreat. Some lazy takeout. I'm so damn hungry I don't want to cook right now.
Oh, I'm sure we can get something.
Yeah, I'm sure we can find some. There's a lot of food around. It's a dwarven city, after all.
Yeah.
I would say, why don't you show us authentic dwarven cuisine? But then I remembered that's basically all you cook.
Yeah, branch out, Arngrim. Fuck.
Listen, man.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with lard, motherfucker.
Exactly.
So yeah, I guess they're gonna wander around until they find a place that has like family-style dwarven eating or something.
All right, it's not hard to find within Druenholm. This place is mostly a sort of a mining and crafting town, and family-owned businesses aren't an alien thing here by any means. You do find one place that seems relatively, sort of a modest, small, family-owned business. Seems as though they get they get a fair bit of business here. It's called the Bullet's Belly.
All right, yeah.
Bullet's Belly. There you go. It's in the marketplace, the smaller marketplace district of the stronghold here. You are sat down, presented with meals of Well, Arngrim, you are the resident expert of dwarven comfort meals. What what would you suppose they put down?
Oh, likely fatty meats mixed along with like hefty carbohydrates like porridges and, and spuds and other root things.
Yep.
Seasoned plentifully with I imagine things similar to ginger roots that would be found plentifully underground. Along with a fewer more uncommon spices that are grown on the surface that have to have sunlight. Plenty of mushrooms.
Yep. Lots of you got plates of eggs, various cheeses and breads as sides. It is a plentiful and very hearty meal, as any dwarven meal should be.
I really can't get it out of my head the way you just said sunlight.
Listen, you spend your entire fucking life living underground. Dwarves step out and they see the sun and they think the world's gonna end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Grunker can relate.
Yeah.
Just sounded so like disdaining and like, ugh.
Yeah.
Anything you can't do in a dark cave isn't worth doing.
Yeah. There is also an outdoor seating area for construes as outdoor in an underground dwarven settlement.
Quote unquote outdoor.
Yeah.
A dwarven cafe. It's just a fenced off area.
So the customers doesn't get too rowdy.
So you spend your meals here talking about recent events. Is there anything you would like to talk about while you're devouring your meals hungrily?
Oh yeah, gonna share like the information that I got from Ragnar.
Ah, yes. Laska.
Like, yeah, sorry. It's Ruby Dragon. Prismatic dragons are a thing. They're good as opposed to the evil assholes we've been facing.
And they're much rarer than the chromatic dragons.
And they're much rarer than the chromatic dragons. So it's interesting that we managed to, bump into one. Or, well, witness one.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like, do you not know what a dragon is?
No, I know that you're talking about a dragon. What are you talking about bumping into a dragon?
Oh! Right. You were doing your whole canon thing. Yeah, there was the guards witnessed something off to the south of the battlefield in the middle of battle, and it appeared like a giant object or creature coming from the sky. So, Velum, Sao, and I, and Gronka, I think Gronka was there too, decided to just take a quick little hop over and check it out.
I was there.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's how you're very sneaky. I just
Oh, wait,
kind of always
no.
assume you're around.
Oh, no way, I was there.
Okay. I mean, even you don't know where you
know.
are sometimes, so that's,
No.
I mean, it's impressive. But yeah, we went there and discovered that what was essentially a dragon attack, but there was something a bit odd about it. There were these in Liska. Jesus. And Liska pulls out one of the rubies from the dragon attack.
Oh.
And I hold it up. And these would
So you
blast into the ground.
it's gonna bring it out. You notice out of the corner of your eye, there's a slight gap in Valdmir's kind of rotund-looking backpack seems to be glowing a little bit in response.
I like the gem, but I don't like what it's doing to that.
Yeah, let's we'll
But
we'll do that when we're not in public.
As you point this out, kind of Vladimir takes off the backpack and sort of tries to hide it beneath the table.
Yeah. Liska will put the ruby away again. So as not to attract attention from the glowing backpack. That backpack can't glow if what's making it glow is in a different dimension.
You.
And as you put it away, the backpack is no longer glowing beneath the leather.
I do like glowing things, but
I
not
don't
always.
like all that's happening with that. That's a different kind of weird magic that makes me very uncomfortable. And I don't want it. So I'll switch to another magic I do want and do like. Granka,
Hello.
you still want that magic axe
Oh,
thingy?
yeah. It do.
Have you thought much on what you
Well.
might like?
Wow. I mean, something with fire would probably be like the the more fitting thing, wouldn't it?
Well, you are fire, man.
Thanks.
I'm thinking something, kinda reminiscent to some of the items you might be able to buy. You could grab, I'll have to get a pretty good gem to power it. You could get, maybe a greater flame lace spark, and
Oh,
that should get you something pretty potent.
what about what happened to the lace bug? Will it like disappear? Or,
I don't understand what you said.
like, if you get the lace spark, would that like disappear, or would it be like part of the weapon, or like how does that work?
It's sort of embedded into the item. It's like a battery. How should I say it? It's a well that is drawn from.
Oh, I see. Well, what about what about this? I'm just gonna pull out shiny. This probably have some little orange glow in it.
And what is this?
This is, I believe, he's pulling out his the Heartfire crystal.
Yeah,
That's significant, isn't it?
it's a little bit.
I don't think we should try and make something out of that.
I mean, maybe.
Oh well, if you're so you want something that like heats up the weapon and makes it like deal like fighter damage to use an abstract.
Yeah.
Well, I know that. Oh, after we talked to the leader of the Hunter's Keep, he directed us to a little imp that was visiting to, those those golems that we fought that were like gnolls.
The tiny golems?
Yeah, basically, the creator was visiting to, I think they said update or repair them, something like that. And we talked to her, and it turns out that those rubies that I showed you are like if you put them in armor, they can help protect you from fire. So I imagine if you maybe put them in weapons, they might be able to deal fire. I do not know. I am not the kind of person who makes these sorts of things.
Oh, I see.
There might be something to that. What do you think, Algren?
I think that might work. I could do some interesting things with it, that's for sure. The idea that if embedded in armor gives you protection does make me think that if you embed it in a weapon, it would do more harm.
It's just how game logic works.
Sal looks over towards Vellum for a short moment, and then sort of looks back to Arngrim. Would it light the blade on fire?
Vellum returns from the bathroom. What are we talking about? Sorry, I'd walk it a while and had to go. What's he just sits down, scoots in.
We were discussing what we learned about the rubies. That
Oh
if
yeah, those
they-
things.
yeah.
I had some project ideas for them, but what are you thinking, so?
I'm just thinking if we could mimic a kind of effect you have with your blade, except with fire.
I mean, I have no idea how mine works, so I don't know how we can do that. We could try to summit with these things, though.
Sal wants flame swords.
Vellum,
Where?
Yeah.
could I see your sword for a moment?
Sure, but what do you need it for? He is reaching for it.
I just want to look at it from a craftsman's perspective. You'll have it
Alright.
back within a minute.
Just obviously be gentle with it. I have no idea how this is put together, so fixing it would be a nightmare. And he's gonna very carefully put it on the table by arm.
I'm going to go very gingerly scoot it over. Just like start sniffing at it and looking at it real careful. At one point, he takes the spot where the blade comes out and just looks right in that hole. Like,
God.
Oh!
And with that, as you,
Oh no, his eyes!
as your hand lights up around the blade, you immediately sense what this is. This is a I believe it was the sun sun blade, an artifact very much akin to the original sort of green bane weaponry that you've heard of, Arngrim. This is an artifact from a long time past, hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And you know exactly what it does now.
Hooray!
This is quite interesting. I might be able to make something similar to this. My guess is it functions based on a special material of how it's made, similar to sort of how my old Bane weaponry would. So, maybe it's made out of blood of angels or something like that. I don't know. That's a joke. Celestial steel might be. Either way, thank you. As he slides it back.
He will.
Yes, I think I can make something similar to that.
Happy to help. He's like very carefully puts it back in his pocket, just like inside coat pocket, like you would put a wallet away.
Do you have anything on that stops it from, zoom? As he kind of like makes the hand motion of something extending.
Well, I mean, it only does that when I want it. It's some kind of like mental thing or something.
So, oh, okay. So it's not like, pocket knife. You can sit on it funny and suddenly stubbed up the arse.
I would be very worried if that was the case. But no, I took some time, figured out its ins and outs, and yeah, it only acts as I want it to. I can affect it in different ways, and as far as how it's put together and how it does what it does, I just figure it's got magic in it. Does
Alright. As long as you don't get stabbed through the, I guess, gut when you put it in your coat.
I mean, I've been using this for months and it hasn't happened, so I'm gonna figure that it doesn't.
Alright.
So yeah, you had ideas about doing. Oh right, yeah, you wanted to use the gems to make fire on somebody's weapon.
Glanka, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I see kind of want to try with this. Maybe we can use these other gems for like stuff if you want it.
Well, I was figuring on making a set of something. I'm still working on some plans, but basically divvy them out, and then we all benefit from some non-fire having.
I'm
'Cause,
fine.
you know, if we get fire thrown at us, it won't be as bad. 'Cause, we learned that they go in armor and resist flames and stuff like that. So maybe you can work on something a little less cumbersome for us that don't use armor. So then everyone can benefit. Like an accessory of some kind.
Maybe.
I'm taking some time to plan before I go using these, because, I mean, let's be honest, when the hell else are we going to come by them again? But you seem a lot more in tune with these sorts of things than I am, Armgrip, so you figure you and Sao can do exactly what you planned to for Grunker, if all goes to plan.
And plus, if you have, I realized I was muted when I was talking earlier, but plus, like, if you have, like, for the quote-unquote accessory that you're talking about, like a ring or something, like, I've seen rings of protection, like against certain elements, and you don't need a lot of crystal to make those. Like, you probably wouldn't even use up one of these rubies. She holds up the thing, or well, she motions to the thing she showed earlier, which was like the size of your fist, of her fist.
Yeah, I mean, I know my way about gems a bit, so it depends on how they're cut. Like, it could be smaller by the time I cut it, but you are in the right of it. If it's a ring or something, then might need less materials, but I don't want to chance nothing, so I'm going to do some research, ask the right people, you know what I mean. And he's going to sort of get his bag and reach in, and as soon as I get the bag of holding thing up and see how many of these fucking things I have. Let's see, I have 5 of these things. I think this guy has 1, but you ain't as keen to part with that, I think. So that's how many we have.
I'd rather, slap one in a weapon than in armor for myself, personally.
Well, either way, I'm gonna rummage, take one out, and hand it on over to the nerds. Well, you probably want to take some time to look at the things before you make any plans, so there you go.
Ah, thank you. I would like to take some time and really crank out a weapon, though, for Granka first, since he did make that request.
These are rare, so I figure you want to take your time with it anyway, just finding out what they is, how they work, and all that. Because, dragon magic ain't much of an explanation for you folk who like the nitty-gritty of everything.
Well, there is room for many options currently. But I think what is most important here is what Gronka wants.
I figured this was his idea, wasn't it? Like he wanted magic smashing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but mostly
Smash.
because Sarge just looks to Arngrim a little. We have a tendency to just come up with a lot of ideas and kind of forget where we're. You know.
The ideas more rapidly evolve into something else that's so different you couldn't even tell it was based off the first thing.
Right. Well, maybe Grunker can.
This was
supervise.
supposed to be a light, as he kind of gestures towards, you know, the little sketches that was the mortar.
Well, then just have Grunker supervise, so that way you don't get too off track. Focus on what you're doing instead of what something could be.
Yeah, I'm gonna grip something super tight. They could supervise.
Yeah. Supervise a Grunker.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
We ordered food yet, or we waiting for?
Oh, we ate it all.
Oh, okay. I'll
It
figure
came while
out.
you were in the
Ate
bathroom.
yours.
You were in there a while. Everything okay?
You ate quickly.
Yeah, we
Sarge
tried.
just looks to Liska.
We tried to stop hunger, but it was just force of nature. It's amazing they need the table.
Well, I mean, we work for a few days straight. I figure you work up an appetite.
Yeah. I mean, I also help, but you know.
Then I will order some food. Because he is a simple man.
I think
who
there
didn't
is
realize
still
that there was a
food
jinx.
on the table.
Yeah, there is food on the table, and
Oh well, he definitely noticed that. He's he's a himbo, not a stupid.
yeah. Your reputation here in Druvenholm is preceded you. The meals are free of charge.
Well, Velen will leave a couple gold tip because
Okay,
he's a
fair
good
enough.
person. Also, it rounds my gold to a nice even number.
There you go.
I had 567. It is now 565. Yeah. Sorry. I'm dying. I'm old.
As the waitress takes away your food. Oh, thank you for your patronage. It's been a while.
It's alright.
Thank
Everyone
you
gets
for your
nervous.
patronage. She seems a bit stunned by the generous couple of gold pieces.
I thought you were gonna say stunned by the stupidity.
I'm sure she's just very, very drunk.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say stunned by stupidity because it's just like, here, have a free meal. Here's money. That's okay.
More stunned by your sheer generosity, apparently.
Okay,
Because
well,
couple of gold pieces. It's
that's a lot to a normal person.
yeah.
Yeah, you paid for like 5 of the meals we just ate.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He's a simple man.
That reflects upon his education.
Yes, I eat.
So
None.
after you fill your bellies for the afternoon, what are you all doing?
Oh, it's afternoon. Oh, well, I guess we probably want to go to bed before we head out or something. I assume timeline-wise, for the sake of simplicity, this is after everything, so we don't have to figure out fucking timelines.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think me and Orgrim's probably gonna talk a little bit more about this whole idea.
What time is it?
It's coming to early evening, about 7-8ish.
7, 8ish. My favorite.
My favorite time, 7-8ish. Liska, by the way, something I wanted to run past. When we was in Dunolo at the Antlers Keep, walked by the sparring arena thing place. Got a little nostalgia going. So back when we were, you were trying to teach me a bit more about the combat stuff. So wonder if you wanted to try sparring again.
Yeah, sure.
Figure we got some time before we turn in.
I don't see why not.
Okay then.
Oh, that reminds me. Before, like, when the group is just leaving the tavern, Liska stops and is like, remember that green dragon that we killed? Was able to turn it into the Hunter's Keep. So, got some extra spending money, and Liska will give everybody 1,000 gold.
Oh,
Glad we got the math of that sorted out, because I
Yeah.
completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
Could you repeat how much?
1,000.
I mean, it's green
What
dragon
was this
bits.
for?
The green dragon that we killed.
Oh, the green dragon. Oh, yeah.
If we
With my
remembered that we had it,
climactic stone.
yeah.
Yeah, it's your magic
Dragon.
stone of killing.
we remembered we had its bits. We're just like, oh right, yeah, can we turn these in?
Yep.
Dragon Bane.
All right, so that's 1,000 gold. That's. I'm just gonna put it into gold because I don't want to figure out platinum. I know it's simple, but I'm stupid.
Also
and
It's 10 forehead. But also, you go to a bank and convert your shit.
I don't have a lot, so it's easy.
Okay.
And also bag of holding. But yeah, I get your meaning. Most of my money's in platinum.
I just throw all my stuff in my fucking bag of holding. I got copper, I got silver, I got gold and platinum.
I mean, that piles up eventually with weight.
I know. I just like having at least some of each, so I know that I don't accidentally be like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
here's a platinum. Farmer looks up like I'm fucking god.
It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
can
mean,
you, can you break
don't
this?
want like thousands of copper. You want like
Yeah.
a pittance of copper. Like a bit of each, and then yeah.
Okay, so as Liska divvies out this quite significant large amount of gold, Vellum and Liska, you want to go find someone to spar, right?
Yes.
All right, so
But also, as a quick note, in the interest of fairness, considering we took up most of the session last time, I'm all right with focusing on other people before we get to that basically
Sure.
one-on-one combat.
sure.
As am I.
Okay, so what we can do is go over to let's say Gronka and Angrim. They wanted to do some talking.
Yeah.
Gronka and Angrim.
Alright, well,
Drink over there.
oh lad, before I make something, we really should refine what you want.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you need this thing to become.
Oh. Well, I think. Well, I kind of want it to like get better, but I don't really like. I'm not too sure of the details, but I think that yeah, something with fire probably.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. What is
Did
what?
you already give him the axe?
What? Yeah, I think you still have the axe. Yeah.
Alright, then I'll pull it out and look at it. What kind of weapon is this? What does it do?
It is a battle axe.
Just a battle axe?
There's metal on the mountain, but other than that, it's just a battle axe.
Yep, mundane battle axe.
There's nothing special about it other than the material it's made out of.
Okay. Right. So how do you feel about it, doing extra fiery slashy bits?
That would be pretty cool. I think.
Okay. So it may take a little bit of money
It's
to
okay.
do this. I won't charge any labour, of course, other than perhaps if you find any scrumptious snacks that you decide to buy and bring me back for when I'm working.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll bring her something. I'm sure I could help a little bit.
Right. So I'll just I'll figure out what we need, and I'll leave it up to you to spend the money to get the materials.
Okay. what do you need?
Well, primarily, I'm going to need something for runes. So I'm going to need a good material that I can carve the runes into. I might be able to do it on the axe itself, but then I have to sprinkle magic powder on it. And that would pretty much solidify the item as it is.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd have to completely remake it with one of my magic spells, which just totally changes how it is.
Oh. Okay.
So, I'll need some nice plates of some kind of material, metal or a good stone, to carve some runes into.
Okay.
I'll need...
Wait, what did you say?
I will need nice plates, little squares,
Oh.
right? Not the eaten kind, the ones made out of rocks and stuff for making stuff.
Oh, I see. I'm sure there's stuff I'm sure if I just ask them, they know where it is.
Exactly. I'll also be needing some refined erudite dust. I'll need a bag.
How big's a bag? Like, a bag's pretty ambitious, right? Size.
It's
Big bag.
they're
or small
sold
bag?
in a size.
Oh,
They're just portioned that way.
oh, I see. It's convenient.
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
And I will likely need, given what you want, a major lace spark.
Oh. Could you use this thing?
I can.
Yeah. Maybe we should try.
Is he holding out the
Yeah.
the crystal?
Yeah. Because it's got that fire stuff in it. It's like, cause as far as I know, the the ley lines are like connected to like the fireplace, the fire realm, and this is also that. So maybe it'll work just as good.
Okay. That's big.
Is it? I mean, we could try. Maybe
Alright.
maybe it'll be like it's a big X, and it's a big thing, right?
Right
You
then.
know?
Okay, I'll give this one a try.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't work, we can go and get like a delay spark. But we might as well try if we have what we have, right? You see anything else?
I think that will about do it.
Okay. And snacks.
And snacks.
Okay. Anything specific? Like, something, is it stuff you don't like, stuff you prefer, like drinks?
I have plenty of drink,
Alright.
but I have a secret love.
Oh, what's your name?
That's not what I meant. I
Oh.
meant the food.
Oh, I mean, you could love food, I guess. I don't judge.
Just pats his shoulders. You're a good one, you know that. Never mind.
Alright. So, snakes. Okay, is there something about some cheese?
Sure.
Yeah, let's see.
So-
We're just kind of scrabbling something on like a piece of paper with a bit of coal.
There we go. So if we want me to make you a flame tongue, it's probably overall gonna cost, if you're just buying it, the average is 10 grandish. Half of that would be like 5 to make it. But since we already have some, components, then you might be able to try and get that lower.
So we could use the crafting items rules here.
I thought this should be runecraft, or am I missing the point?
It'll be part. The rune crafting would be part of the cost, and part of the and part of the time needed to make it.
Okay, so in this case, it would cost 2 grand, so it would be a quarter of the average buying price.
Good thing you both got 1,000 gold just now.
Good thing I have that.
Good thing we have money.
You could also call in Xiaoyun, because she's very good at crafting magic items.
I could. That would help make it go faster, I assume, from 10 work weeks.
Quarter of that time.
Only if it is for common and uncommon. Anything above that is full time.
Right. Okay.
Yep. But working together, we might be able to argue 2 craftsmen working together would be twice as fast.
You know what? Sure.
Considering I also have fabricate spells, which hey, it just appears.
That will certainly help.
God, I love that spell so much.
And I can bypass it can't have fine details because I have proficiency in the tools required to work the material.
Mm-hmm.
Both
Not only that,
blacksmithing and masons.
Yep.
Not only that, you also know rune crafting.
Mm-hmm.
I also know the rune crafting, so I can have the fine details actually be the runes on the item.
Yep.
So I don't even have to. So, oh fuck, hypothetically, this could be done in a couple of days. The worst part is going to be pouring magic into it.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Concentration.
you've already got your some sort of magic item, some sort of I don't know. Would you consider I would probably consider Heart Fire Crystal an artifact, not like it has any mechanics, but just the sheer lore implications of it.
Yes. But still, to put the erudite dust and then concentrate. Do the concentration spells and stuff. That'll take a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like using the Heart Fire Crystal is the equivalent of having 2 thin metal blades and then sticking like a taser in it and be like, haha, electric blade.
Yeah.
Cut you in half as it tases you.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you don't think that's something Groka would have?
Honestly, Grunker with the taser is terrifying.
Yeah, lightning damage.
Take a bunch of tiny tasers and tape them to the end of his fingers.
Unlimited taser claws! I will punch you and I'll punch myself.
Right.
I'll grab onto you, then I'll taste myself, and then you get shocked. Genius. 'Cause then I don't have to roll attack.
Yeah.
Just have to roll a grab. Okay.
Right. So this would be essentially like a sort of modified flame tongue weaponry. We don't know how it will react to the Heart Fire Crystal itself. We'll just have to see.
I mean, we are kind of putting a lithium battery in a taser here.
Yeah. Okay, so an enchanting. Well, we'll say a sort of a powerful rune What did we agree? What type of rune did we agree for rare items? Or
It would be based off of like collectives and cost. For that,
so
I think we were talking major rune.
major rune seems pretty accurate.
Because it's in the tier 2. And I would say a master would be like very rare stuff.
more or less. From what I recall, we had the idea of major runes and some lesser runes. You would combine them together, and you would get like powerful runes, things like that. You basically get a series of them, put them together so that their cost and all the items together sort of equal out.
And this
Rune crafting is just like making a breadboard for a computer.
yeah, and if you're a forge cleric, you can pretty much bypass a lot of the stuff here. It will literally just need to be the concentration aspect.
Yep.
Okay, so what we could, using your artisan's blessing, could definitely make most of these. I mean, pretty much all these major runes needed for it. You just need the raw materials to get from Grunka. What we could do is have you concentrate on a powerful rune, a major powerful rune.
Don't you have enhance ability?
I do.
Can you do the what is it, the bear one on me that gives me advantage in Constitution?
Sure thing.
If I remember.
Performance
There you
enhancing
go.
magic. Go.
There you go. Alright, so as you begin to make your way into the Temple of Gundrim to start this process, Grunka, you would need to go out and purchase
Oh boy.
about I'll say just take off 2,000 gold for the stuff needed for it.
Okay. Then just gonna get some good snakes.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna think like, what is Ongrim like? What does he eat? And then it's just gonna go, you know what?
Oh, that's a raw ability. I wanted.
Yeah. And then it's just gonna think
know.
like, wait, I'm not a dwarf, I don't know. Like, you're probably gonna ask a couple of people, be like,
Here we go.
probably try and get like the ultimate snake.
So Constitution 18.
21 because I accidentally clicked the ability instead of the save, so I didn't have my bless.
Right. Okay.
You know I'm gonna be prepping for her.
Oh
It's
yes, yes. 21. That is one over what you needed. So as you start the process, fabricating all the items needed for this process. Grunka brings you the necessary components. You start chiseling away these intricate runes within this divot in the head of the battle axe where this heartfire crystal is going to go. And wait on. Sorry, I need to.
It's fine. Take your time and get it right. That's the way of it.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. Got something with Sirenscape? It's just something like, sounds like a mosquito.
Oh, that's just the saw in the
Yeah, I
background.
Oh, what? A soul?
Yeah, that's
Mither Stone.
someone's sawing in the background in the workshop here.
Oh,
Okay, I was just confused for a second.
Yeah. So
yes.
you prepare to forge this item, Angrim and Gronka. Begin to work together as Gronka brings you all the necessary components. Brings you delicious food for the meantime. I'll say go ahead and mark off about 50 gold of high quality food to fuel Angrim, if you will, Gronka.
Okay. All right.
You and as you stand by Angrim for this process, this is going to take a couple of days to do. So this is sort of panning this out over these couple of days. As you prepare to forge this item, you look to the students and apprentices of the temple for basic assistance. As was Gronka, you've gained quite the significant reputation in the temple after word has spread that you, Arngrim Brackenbrick of Clan Silverhearth, just a week ago, were among the heroes who partook in the siege of Druvenholm and crafted the very first Grudsteel ingot after many, many centuries. A metal whose forging techniques were thought to have been lost since the Greenskin Wars. There's a great amount of respect given to you among the younger lads and lasses who look up to you now as someone to aspire to. Any additional extra raw materials they bring to you, any items needed for your clerical rituals, blessings and spells. A small crowd of onlookers has begun to form around the both of you as you are in the midst of your work. A couple of elders look on with a nitpicking curiosity, and apprentices to other smiths write down notes in their leather-bound journals.
So Nordics kind of ask Algrim just before he starts, or as he starts. He's gonna ask so do you want any because I can have shape fire and stuff like that. Like you want it to be a specific shape that'll help, maybe widen it out or anything like that.
Really, I can work with anything. It's more of what you would like.
What would I like? Let's see. Let's say appearance.
Hey?
Oh. Well, I'm not really good at that, so just kind of do what you feel is right. Just maybe not too maybe not too gaudy.
Not too gaudy. Right. I have a question for you.
Hello.
Is this gonna be replacing your little spinning axe? Did you want me to take the magic of that and put it in this?
Could you do that as well?
I can.
Oh. Wow. That'd be pretty neat. I mean, if you could, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, then why not? You would have the
I'll
same.
do it, but do know it'll destroy the other one. But all of its magic will go into this.
Oh, okay. Well, I see. Oh, would you have Oh, yeah. Would is it exactly the same? Probably there was no lesser or anything.
It's just the magic off of that and this. And a little bit extra with now it's gonna have the Dwarven runes call it Flame Tongue.
Oh.
It licks the enemy with fire.
Oh, okay. I can see that. Yeah, sure. I mean, do you need any extra materials for that?
think so. It just takes time.
Okay, I mean, I think we got time. So
All
sure.
right.
Yeah.
Very well.
You're just gonna take out the wild man spinning cleaver and just gonna reach it over. Handle first.
So, these additional effects are going to require another check, because this is something extra you're trying to add to it.
Okay, I guess gonna help best he can.
Alright. I'm not sure you can help on concentration checks.
I'm gonna tell him to be real smart.
That's kind of what Sao is here for.
Yeah.
Well, that's what enhanced abilities for you.
Yep.
Well, he can do it anyway, even if it doesn't do it.
You can do it.
And plus, we've been using the good old fucking Fate Orb. So worst comes to worst, I'll just roll again.
This is true.
Okay.
Alright.
25.
25.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. This is going to take a lot more time to do so. So as you begin concentrating, taking the essence gradually, piece by piece, tether by tether, rune by rune, from the wild man's spinning cleaver, you watch as the subtle glow that once possessed it begins to fade away. Now nothing more than a mundane hand axe. And as you keep the magic contained in one gauntlet, you hold the battle axe and begin to channel that same essence into that weapon, using the sort of runes that you've crafted arranged in the circle around the weapon itself. It seems it takes some of the glow. You're not sure if it's because it's a different weapon entirely, or because the enchantment didn't take hold. But half of the glow seems to stay there. It's difficult to tell.
Might need more magic powder.
Well, okay. Are we out? Do I need to
So-
get
Seem
more?
to be completely.
So, just to let you know, the Wild Man Spinning Cleaver, one of the main features of it is that when thrown, it can bounce to other targets, because the hand axe has the thrown property.
Oh, I see.
The battle axe does not have the thrown property. However, you did roll pretty well, so I'll think of something else to add to it.
I rolled a 19. That's almost as good as I can be.
It's
I mean, if, like, not to say anything, but
Yeah. Yeah.
if there's nothing
If
there to take, like, if you can't transfer over,
Yep.
like,
Yeah, that's.
a natural 20
what-
doesn't let you do more than
Unless
is
you do
actually
instant.
possible.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. That was a joke on him rolling well.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, that was. I wasn't saying anything. That was just to help Jan
Yeah,
out.
No.
these things don't work.
Yeah, it is fair to say that some things can't exactly do unless he changes this to make it like a hand axe.
I'll think of something else. Don't worry, because you rolled pretty well, and you're pretty enthused about this. So don't worry. I'll get you back on this.
What if it's still a spinning cleaver, but you don't throw it, you just spin in place?
Oh my god, helicopter axe!
Oh no!
That was been playing some Diablo too.
Right.
Just barb
I mean,
and-
if I
whirling
may,
barb.
Branka is a blender now.
Yeah.
I know this is sort of prolonging things, but I'll be quick with it. It did have the returning property when it done bouncing, isn't it? So perhaps can apply the returning property to the axe, so that if he does lose it or it's like out of his hands, he can be like, "Come here," and then it's there.
It calls to him. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Doors? Yeah.
Get
That brings-
over it.
Yeah, that brings back an old 3.5 Pathfinder.
So,
Returning.
last component to this, Some of the magic did take hold, but most of it seems to have been designed specifically for the hand axe. So, this last component, the Heartfire Crystal. Grunka. As you grasp the Heartfire Crystal in your hand, you feel its warmth. While normally the touch would normally scald any other creature, to you it's a comforting warmth. It's the warmth of home and family. The legacy of your people given to you to carry on. And you hold it and think of your mother, Snaggletooth, who was so suddenly taken from you. You remember the blind fury you threw yourself into at the sight of her death. Now you know that none of this was without purpose. And while her death was unforeseen, she gave you this crystal for a purpose, and now you know why. But she is never far away, and she watches on with pride.
And he's gonna hold back a little sniffle, and he's gonna reach over the crystal to Angram.
You grip it tightly. A link to the plane of fire. You feel the resonant power within. And you understand why it was sought after by your mother's murderer. A most prized gift to the Goblin King indeed. And Gengar the Magnanimous would use it with reckless abandon. But you, Grunka, will you allow the fires of the Forge to help you tame and control this raw, primal fury?
Yeah. Yes, I would.
As you hand it over to Arngrim. It is now in your hands.
Alright. Anything left?
Nope. You place it in the recess that you've created.
And such with that, baby. I assemble it all.
Hoppa!
As you channel the energy in one hand, place the Heartfire Crystal near the axe. As it draws nearest to the axe, the tendrils of elemental fire begin to reach for it, touching it, examining it. And as the magic glosses over its surface, it branches like spider webs, like tree roots. Grunka, it's not too dissimilar to the ley lines of cold magic you saw within Crothus' lair. Fires of the nearby braziers and forges within the rest of the workshop seem to dim. But the crystal grows brighter and brighter. The crystal almost seems to want to attach itself to the axe, like two pieces of magnetic metal. And Arngrim, you feel the slight pull in your fingers. Grunka, the vision of the tremendous vortex of flames you saw in your dreams flashes before your eyes. Swathes of foes cleaved before it, with its enormous fiery axe. There's a sense of belonging, familiarity, reunion, but it's not from you yourself, Grunka. crystal is pulled into place by the tendrils of fiery energy. And you are all immediately bathed in fiery orange light. Oh, no. Sorry, what is it? Where is it? The heat is immense. The fires of the braziers and forges are immediately snuffed out, as if the crystal itself is drawing on them as a source of energy. More energy filtering into the crystal itself, the fire grows larger. The anvil itself begins to glow a white hot. Fires of the braziers now with one single point of light in the room. It's the blinding, scorching radiance of the weapon. There's panicked murmurings of the crowds, shocked gasps. Cracks of molten metal shatter the anvil as the sheer power of the crystal causes the weapon to crack and reshape the weapon. There's panicked murmurings of the crowds, and eventually as the light of the weapon dims, gradually, one by one, braziers and the forges reawaken. As the light gradually ceases, you see that the iron anvil has been reduced to a molten, cratered lump that glows with orange and heat. Within the centre of this crater is no longer the maul axe you're familiar with. Instead, it takes the appearance of a jagged, carved obsidian series of shards, vaguely in the shape of a battle axe, which forms the visage of a hideous, grinning skull. And within the skull's teeth, where the haft meets the head, is the telltale orange glow of the Heartfire crystal.
Oh boy. Smith cat really upset.
Oh yeah.
feel about it.
Wow.
Okay. Right. So, what do you do? Angrim and Ronka.
Everyone's gonna hold up the axe.
Ruger's just kind of
Eat.
stare at it.
It's complete.
Oh.
Oh, this
Magic combined and magic enhanced. Go on, Grunka. He holds it out. Give it a
Yeah.
swing.
So very nervously as he grab the axe. Oh. Boy. It's pretty cool. Okay. We're just gonna hold it up. Just gonna look it over.
As you hold it up, there's gasps in the crowds, murmurs of amazement. You see among them the familiar face, the chief engineer. Step forward, Angrim. An awe-inspired look on his face. In all my years in this temple, never have I seen a feat of smithing such as this.
I aspire to this greatness. I seek to make more. I'm not done yet.
This day you've certainly honoured your clan, and your ancestors, and you've humbled all within this temple.
Big old fucking grin. Well, I have the wisdom of those before me to get me where I am.
We will be honoured if you would teach us your ways, Angrim Brackenbrick of Clan Silverhearth. What say you? Oh, dude, Angrim, Alf?
Hello? Can you be here?
Yep, there you go. What say you, Angrim?
He kind of looks over to the others. I can pop this in party chat.
The man do be poggin.
I would be honored to. There is travel that I must complete. I promised my comrades here that I would venture with them out and beyond the Iron Gate.
An oath made must be kept. You have my respect for that.
When I return, I've already started seeking the construction of special temples, of a place of forts and ancestor worshipping. Focus on divine forging. I would love to return and teach what I can while such a place is being built.
We shall seek out this temple then. Where is it being built?
To the borders overlooking the road past the mountain.
Very well. That place we shall seek. Refuge we shall seek. To establish a new place, a new temple. And hopefully learn of your ways.
I shall teach you all I know On the road, all I learn. Holds out his hand for a firm shake.
Grasps it firmly. And as you look down to your holy symbol, you notice the runes upon it are glowing. The fire in your belly swells. You feel a warm sensation wash over your body. The promise of potential. And approval.
Fucking hell yeah. Well, I'll be here for a small time longer. I have a design I need to build. Something gear-based to allow even the oldest and shakiest of hands to carve some fine runes. Perhaps we can sit down and talk about future arrangements together, become more well acquainted.
I would be honoured, Algren Brackenblack.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, Garanka, perhaps you should go find something to test out that new tool on. You're alright there, friend.
No, but yeah. It's just a lot. It's just it's just a lot of it's a lot to take in right now.
You'll be fine. Don't worry, I'm a little surprised it went as well as it did.
I'm glad.
I tried to keep the shape and the design similar to what you had. I know you mentioned it was, well, the shape of an old master, but it took form on its own. Whatever that gem is has a life of its own.
Yeah. The Plains of Fire is a very powerful place.
I hope it does you well.
Yeah.
It cost a pretty penny.
Oh yeah. Did.
I think he needs a minute, lads.
Yeah,
Right.
Rook is just sitting on the with the axe in his knees. Lap, yeah. Webby's kind of sitting on his head, just looking at it. Yeah, I hope so too.
Right, I hope you like your new axe, Grunker.
It's a lot of stuff to read.
It's alright.
I still haven't read all of it. I just put commune on my spell list. Oh, is it just like the normal commune, or is it like a?
Just a normal commune.
Okay.
Once per long rest.
Okay.
I feel like this. I feel like this should also be a very legendary reading.
With time.
Yeah,
With time.
It gets more powerful than this. All right, fuck.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, see, I told you to talk about fucking legendary and artifact power scaled shit.
I'm just gonna point one thing out
it does
here.
kind of have the pseudo curse.
Yeah,
aspect of
'cause
it, so
we're
that's the thing.
Yeah, I was
We're
about
also
to point that
looking
out. The primordial rage thing. Oh yeah, it's super fucking cool and really strong,
But it comes with a risk.
but
Ask
it
not.
literally states
Yeah,
nearest creature,
yeah, and there is
not
a
friendly or hostile.
not enemy.
there
all
is
the
a
time.
there is a very distinct reason why I said why I worded it as any creature within 5 feet of you, not any hostile creature.
True Angie doesn't discriminate.
Yep. Do not ask who the flame burns. Only ask if you can direct it.
Let's see. I do love the fact that you can just turn your axe into your fists. That's nice.
Yeah.
Punch.
Yeah, it's just
And-
a way
and
of,
it is-
reflavouring your slashing to bludgeoning, essentially.
Yeah, and I do like that he can now finally do both rage and get the benefit.
Yeah.
Because beforehand it was just like either I rage or I do this thing and concentrate. Like,
Yeah.
So-
And in exchange for the extra 1d4, you can instead just explode and set people on fire.
All right then.
Yeah, I like to imagine that whenever he does that, like not explode, whenever he like becomes big, they the axe becomes like his fists. I like to imagine that they like you see in the blade that there's like spikes in it. I imagine that those kind of become like knuckles, basically.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like gauntlets.
You can reflavor it however you like.
Yeah, that's cool. I like this. This is neat. I'm gonna keep reading because I still haven't read it.
I do have a single question. In Primordial Rage, it specifically the nearest creature doesn't specify hostile or friendly, and says, and use the attack action against it.
Yes.
You can choose whether or not to use this extra attack feature for this attack. So, if Grunka kills a creature, if he fails his wisdom save, he gets basically a fighter's action surge.
I sort of based it more on the order of the Lycan thing where what was it? When you're transformed, if you go below like 50% health, you have to do like a wisdom save each round or attack something within the nearest.
I'm
thing.
fine with that, but there's a difference between an attack and the attack action.
Right. Okay. The idea was that it was just a single attack.
Okay.
Then it should
Because
say,
then in the next sentence you say you can choose whether or not to use your extra attack feature for this attack, and that's what threw me, because it was like basically he can do his full attack on something, kill
Right.
something,
Yeah.
and then run, and then
Right. That
he
was.
basically gets endless. He can, if he keeps killing, he can endlessly attack.
Yeah, it was my bad. Let me make a make a single attack.
yeah,
Well, we can do this after the
Yeah,
session.
yeah. Okay.
but
I just wanted to point that out because
Yeah.
that really jumped out at me.
Yeah.
good thing you actually caught that, because I was a little confused when you mentioned it. Just like, wait,
Yeah.
it's just like
There's
a single
a-
attack, isn't it? And then like, oh,
There's a reason why I did subject to change in grey.
But no,
Anyway.
yeah, this is a really powerful weapon. This is, and I know it might get better, but I still feel like it should be like it's legendary. Is what's the term
Culture.
for it? Like a category that has no end. Like it's just the
I
It
think,
gets better.
I
Yeah,
think
every-
artifact might
Technically,
be better.
this is a unique.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say artifact.
And there's the implied sentience.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
You're
Like-
like my weapon of a god. In it. Ish.
Okay. We're
What are we talking about?
yeah,
My
we're
weapon.
getting off track.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
getting off track. So,
Get some badass fucking
Yeah.
nice. Good
now,
shit.
what else did you two want to do here?
I mean, I think Runka's out of commission for now. He's just kind of.
Alright, fair enough.
What else does that true do when you create a legendary weapon?
He's just kind of sitting there with it in his lap, just kind of like.
I'll
Looking
just go ahead and stick that in your attuned items.
Yeah.
I find it funny none of the dwarves looked at the melted anvil and be like, "Are you gonna pay for that?"
I mean, when you create an item like that, I think there's some leeway.
Honestly, they're probably just gonna like enshrine it.
Yeah, and here's where he made the it's a destroyed anvil. I fucking know, right?
This is where Argrim really fucking did the craft.
Oh,
You
yeah.
should have seen that.
Honestly, like these are the kind of Elda's the kind of weapon that gets stories told about it, and
Yeah.
the crafters who craft that kind of weapon are the ones whose name go down in history, like Masamune.
There's a
You know.
reason why Arngrim got his blessing then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's when we come
I
back,
also did it
there's
in
probably
the
going to be a
Temple of that
statue of
god.
Arngrim.
You know
Now
what
Sal's
makes
the
this-
only one without a blessing.
You know what makes this funny to think of? Arngrim was originally a baker.
He did
Oh,
his
shit.
magic.
They
weapon
cannot be
is.
different things.
I mean, creating bread, creating legendary weapons, it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Right.
Creating
Yeah, you know,
legendary
you mix the
weapons.
ingredients, put it in the fire,
Shall we?
it comes out.
Yeah, let's continue before we get too off
Yeah,
track.
yeah. Shall we pan over to someone else then?
Yeah, what's Sal doing?
Yeah, what's Sal doing? You've just witnessed Arngrim and Grunka and
I wasn't there.
Yeah, you were. You gave me the.
Oh yeah,
Oh, she
I
get the
was.
blessing
Sorry.
and fuck off.
My entire fucking brain just
Yeah.
reset a bit where I was because I had to go and check because I could hear folks singing outside
Yeah, no
for a
worries.
moment. So I
Yeah,
went out
grand
and
old
checked,
time.
and they're singing fucking West Virginia.
Rock
Mountain Mama,
Alright,
take
let's-
me home.
So yes, was Sal there the whole time or no?
What's Sal doing?
I was there, and so I was just, goggles down, just awe-inspired. Man, dwarves are really something, eh? And
Arngrim is already gathering materials for his next project.
Oh, we're gonna keep this momentum going.
Alright. So, shall we pan over to Velum and Liska?
Yeah, let's get their
Yeah.
barring duel.
Alright, so,
Oh yeah, wonders happening over in that temple. Oh well, that's fine.
No, this is like they're funny. It's like, man, I wonder what everyone else. It's
Yeah.
probably just around that chat.
That force over there is awfully bright.
Man, those dwarves exploding things.
why is the temple suddenly dark?
And who's
So-
the lights?
the best place you could probably assume is a good place for sparring matches is probably in the outside courtyard where there's lots of places for training, archery, places for the Iron Guard themselves to spar and train. So you kind of head out there, make your way into a nearby small courtyard area.
Neat.
And you watch as a number of Iron Guard gather around, sort of like, oh, I gotta watch this. You can see a small audience beginning to gather.
If I may make a recommendation, so we're not doing 10,000 tweaks and paperwork, can we just assume that Liska and Velen find weapons that just happen to have the same statistics as their actual weapons, so we're not murdering each other?
Of course.
Are you sure you're not fighting
I mean-
with pure blades?
You can just do
There
like
are.
Just non-lethal damage.
non-lethal. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, we'll do that then. I still find it fun. Like, I don't. It's kind of puts Sao in a catch-22. It's like either it's just like she gets a blessing because everyone else has one, or she never gets a blessing and it just becomes a thing.
I mean, she does have a flamethrower.
True.
Yeah, she blessed herself.
Yeah.
I'm
And
just
you know,
gonna
being
put
shielded
blessings, I
one
can
thing out
fuck it.
here. With all the shit I can do on hand, a blessing is the least likely thing I would probably get because I'm just gonna be real. I'm gonna churn out spell scrolls at some point, like it's fucking paper pressing.
I have my own blessing.
If anything, the god's gonna curse you, being like, she's too powerful. You
Please
gotta
no.
stop her.
So,
Alrighty.
who's out here with Liska and Vellum? Sayun, Grunker, Arngrim, any of you?
I imagine this was happening at the same time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
They
it's
went off to
sometime.
go do foraging and get
Okay.
materials.
Yes,
I mean, I'd like them to be here, but time-wise, it's like we went
Yeah,
off to do
yeah.
this, and they went off to go get materials.
yeah.
All right. So,
Okay, Vellum.
as you start pacing around each other in the center of this training area, onlooking guards. Let's roll some initiative. This guy, you're up
it got
first.
rolled for us, apparently.
At 8.
I'll take it.
Yeah, fuck it. This is going to cover the ground. And then she is going to...
Hello.
Bonjour!
I suddenly regret this decision. Bang! Up. And I just avoid that. Cool.
You hear a resounding.
No, you have to roll athletics or acrobatics.
Oh, right, sorry. I thought Shield Bash was an attack. I'm mixing it up with different rules for Shield Bash. Alrighty, so... we got their athletics. Well, that's not a great start.
A resounding
Right.
"oh" from the crowds.
Yeah, Liska just kind of like jogs up, and at the last, like, 5 feet, she just suddenly surges forward and like slams her shield. knocks
Yeah,
her down.
Venom just mistakenly sort of... Not
It's like
quite
very
getting into
casual approach.
limber yet. He thinks he can sort of brunt it enough to not get knocked on his ass, but then just at the last second, the heel goes out from under him.
And then she's going to make some attacks.
Imagine with the blunt end of the blade.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can
she's
use
using the
side,
flat
it's
end.
fine.
Yeah.
She's flat end and just like bashing.
No, just
like,
murder.
Murder.
Crack.
And I am going to, as a reaction, use the Frostbitten Buckler's ability. The cold damage isn't going to do jack shit, I imagine. But I gotta roll it anyway. For it. So, whatever half of that is. Because, you know, I think you're resistant to cold damage everywhere, if I recall. But I get 5 temp HP, which doesn't do much to that, but at least it's less damage from my main. Carry on. I'm just gonna take the health off. Amazingly, you don't hit. And just like after the thud to the side, he brings the buckler up again in sort of like a just barely knocking it as it knocks into the ground.
And then as that is done, Liska just kind of like takes a step back. It's basically just like opening sound like, "Hey, I'm here," and then she like takes a step back just to kind of give him some breathing room so he can stand up.
Yeah.
She does the fucking gladiator taunt. Arms
Are you
out,
not
like-
entertained?
She's not a dick like that. She wouldn't do that.
Nah. Alright. It's fine. You eat your popcorn. Also, don't forget to hit your tick when you're done. That is a thing.
Boop.
Hey. So Val's gonna stand up. Alright. I'm used to smaller things. Fine, you. It's fine. Just need to limber up. And sort of rushes in to approach.
Alright.
And fighting spirit. Just ping that so I know how much of. Okay, so I have 10 HP now. And
Over at
advantage on
5.
these attacks. Is that a... Oh, that was supposed to be with advantage. Do not hit anyway. And my second attack... 26 probably doesn't hit.
I think. Nope. off.
So close. And with the last 5 feet of his movement, he's going to court.
All right. As a reaction, since he's moving 5 feet within
Oh,
range,
you bitch! I
he's
forgot
gonna
about that.
attack. Yeah. It's only a normal attack. Go. Oh, not one. Nice.
Oh.
Her blade just kind of
Alrighty,
lazily flicks out.
Yeah. So that was bonus action, main, and boot. I am click. I'm sure there's music going, but it's just deathly silence for me in the background because I can't run
It is.
the fucking thing.
I can't run Zymer's game. Yeah, there is.
Actually, I think I
It's
can. Let me try.
dramatic.
Nobody else is. Onwards.
Alright. Let's go. Whoa. Let's see. Let's do one more time, just because she can.
Here we go again.
Another 14.
Nope, forgot to turn advantage off. Oh well.
That's fine. You still got 21.
Yeah. This time he's ready for it. He's loosened up.
Yeah. She's just like, he's learning, and then she's gonna attack.
Does not hit.
That's good damage too. That's nice damage.
That does hit me.
For 17.
I am reaction touch.
Or fucking 30.
No, first one didn't hit. Second one did. Thankfully,
Yeah,
I only
yeah.
take 7 damage because of temp HP.
You were 1 off a natural 20.
Right, and then let's go up and check. Check.
I hate the same greenhorn that was in that sandy ring. I've learned a bit from flying next to you. And sort of with a sort of... It's not seething adrenaline, but there is a smile to him as he, fighting spirit. Drops his shield in 2 hands. And get this whirl-leader going. So I just gotta untick my AC so I don't forget. Alrighty, so 28? That was
Wait,
just
does
shy
it?
before, wasn't it?
26 was just shy. 27's the AC.
Ah, okay. So I hit. Wonderful. Please. Next attack. 27.
I need to add some sense to that.
Is it meet or beat with AC?
It's meet or beat.
Okay. There we go. And I'm gonna action surge. 18 is a no. 26. Ah! So close. And my extra attack for Taoshans. So in this surge of adrenaline, it's like a sweeping double slap, I suppose, in a sense. Like he's more using the blade to get past the defenses or attempt to, and then a bonk. And then, learning his lesson last time, he's gonna stay exactly where he fucking is.
Right.
No fancy footwork with Liska around.
It's true. You know what?
He actually hit Liska.
Yeah.
That's success in his book.
Should also let him.
Come on. He tried.
don't take this away from me.
Look,
Alright.
he's trying, okay?
No, he's I mean, he's a fighter. I'd be surprised if he didn't hit Liska.
I mean, with Vellum's stats, let's be honest. Oh, I forgot to hit the button, sorry.
Let's see. What do I want to do? Because I kind of wanted to test something out. Oh well.
Oh boy, I get to be the test experiment.
Oh no, it'd be kind of. Actually, give me 1 second. I actually do need to check something. Just to. Okay. She would be able to use it anyway. Okay. All right. Yeah, she gonna attack.
Smash
Actually, because she.
Smack attack.
It's because she can. She's gonna be like, yeah, let's fucking go.
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah, that's,
I mean, I'll take a roll, but I don't think I can top that.
There is another resounding "ooh" from the crowds of Ironguard.
Jonah, may I fly backwards for sake of effect?
Yeah, by all means.
Are you alright with that, Nathan?
I mean, I was going for prone, but if you want to fly backwards and fall prone, sure.
I am fine with that because this is, you just fucking like you braced low, low
It's
for
like-
Liska, and then
it-
just
It's like getting clipped by a car.
a speeding car.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
This is
Yeah.
less fucking a fight and more Liska just pushing him over.
Well, he's just like, it's like I'm not the same guy I was in that stand. So like smack, and Liz is
Okay,
like,
I will go.
okay
serious
then. and then she just bam. And then she's going to
No.
step forward, and she's going to attack.
Don't normally have fun on my back, but oh, here we go. That
one.
hit. Though, question for you, Avon, because rules lawyer, you know
Sure.
things. Would I need to have the buckler on me so long as I'm attuned to it to use the effect?
You must wield it to use its effect.
Ah, damn.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
can't get
with
around
magic
that.
items like armor, it's like I have this armor in my bag. Can I use it as I'm doing?
Well, it was worth asking because I mean it's there on the floor, basically next to me. I was just like,
Yeah.
can I be cheeky?
No, yeah, that's fine.
Carry on.
Nothing
That's
wrong with
14
that.
damage, so there goes my 10 HP. That does hit.
And then she's gonna axe the surge. She's gonna attack some more.
Oh, dang.
Wait, hold on, I want to check something. Because I don't think. Yeah, I can't do it because you're attacking me. That's the whole shtick for it. Whew.
Ow!
Jesus Christ.
That is a big barrel of ow.
That is a big old beefy swing.
Ugh. Back it out. Basically knock the fucking wind out of him.
And
I mean,
now
she's basically like a general level soldier versus somebody who's learnt. As opposed to trained.
she is built a specific way. Yes.
It is almost like she has military training.
Yeah, well that's what I'm saying, like, in terms of the gap.
And then let's see, because I've already done that, use bonus, all that stuff. Okay, yeah, cool. This is going to again, she's gonna just kind of step back.
Haha, you fool!
You can swing. Yeah, you can totally
Opportunity
swing.
attack, let's go.
Would it be with disadvantage from being prone?
Yes, you have disadvantage on attacks this point.
Ah, well,
Yep,
I don't know why I
17.
have advantage still, but still. 17. Neither of them were gonna hit. Don't forget your tick book. It's been a while since we've been in combat, so. There we go.
Since we
I'm
have
alright.
our own
I'm
choice.
alright. Just sort of like. A little sluggishly stand up. Pop it a bit. Oh, fucking hell, that's good. At least I know how you like when you're holding back.
Get up and fight her!
That's what I'm doing.
It's like, that's what I'm fucking doing, you fucking dwarves.
I'm gonna try something.
Do it, now's the time.
With swift motion, I'm gonna pull out a very nice looking javelin. And yeet. Oh wait, nope. First things first. Fighting spirit, then yeet. Because that temp HP is very nice.
And advantage.
An advantage, yeah, but temp HP right now is the nicer priority. Alrighty. Have I got advantage on? I always have to check that because they normally have on. So it just lets it fly, it so it probably just thunks into one of those dummies back there. But
Explodes
following
in
up,
flames.
straight in for a follow-up with his sword. So the javelin was more of an opener, and then he just goes in. Whoosh! A noble attempt, but she is a wall of metal. And those are my attacks? Yes.
Right. All right. Liska is going to. 'Cause she can't. You know what? Yeah,
Oh, I'm
sure.
not pro
She's
anymore.
She's going to. This time, just try to. Just to knock him away.
That doesn't hit
she's,
this time.
She's not going to knock prone. Okay, cool.
Athletics?
Right, yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting it's an attack.
It's
Not an attack. It's because it's how it's put together. It makes me
Yeah.
think it's like, oh, that's not a thing.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
All right,
With-
and then
with
she's going to be like, okay. And she's going to.
It's time to beat the shit out of him.
Time
No.
to beat him, eh?
She is going to say it's like, so I'm also not the same person that was in that sand pit the other day, and she is going to take a 5-foot step back.
Oh no, I sense bear things incoming.
I
I mean, I'll take a swing just for the hell of it, because let's
yeah,
be
sure,
Oh wait, hang on, let me double check something.
do it, friend.
Okay,
Make sure you
that's
haven't
not
used your reaction.
Yeah, I need to make sure my reaction isn't necessary for something else.
He's not prone, right?
I am no longer prone, because I got up and ran over.
And does fighting spirit?
That is a 17, not a 20.
Oh, I was actually going to ask. Does fighting spirit? Is it only for your turn, or is it for the? round?
It's only for the attacks that turn. Let me double check actually. Ba.
the end of the current turn. Okay.
Yep, it's
All
at
right,
the
so
end
it's
of the current turn.
Okay. And then, so she's gonna take a step back and say, "It's like I'm gonna be losing the sword soon, so it's time to get back to my roots." And she slams the sword point down into the ground, and she pulls out the dwarven dark fire pike.
Oh,
Oh,
oh no,
and you
it's
see
got
her,
reach.
and you see her, yeah, and you see her just kind of settle in a very like she's normally just kind of like loose as she in her movement on the battlefield, but you see her just kind of settle into something that can only be described as like rote mechanical movement. Like this was something just like she beat into the Lake Vale guys was beaten into her.
yeah, just drilled into you.
Yep. And she like
Spartans.
sits there and her shield, yeah, and her shield's just kind of like in front of her. She's kind of crouched a little bit behind it, and the pike is just pointing out towards you from around it, and she just like makes a nodding motion with her head like, "Come on."
I love it. I love it. That's why
Alrighty.
that's why she's got the notches in the center top of her shield.
Yep.
Just a quick question. Are you using your normal shield or the battering shield we found?
Earlier when I was like, "Oh, she couldn't use it anyway," I have to be attuned to the battering shield. So sadly, well, not sadly, but I'm using the normal shield.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna switch. I was gonna switch mid combat, but I was like, "Oh wait, no, it's attunement. So I can't do the
Yeah.
power knockback."
Nice thought.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, with that, see it takes a moment to assess this change and her new given reach, I assume, because pike. And
Yeah, you can tell she can stab you from where she is.
Oh yeah, Willem knows weapons. He knows enough to know that. He also knows how she works. So I am out of fighting spirits, sadly. So I'm gonna second win, bitch. Oh boy, a whopping 30.
It always sucks for me too. It's like
It's a
Fucking
D10
annoying.
plus 10. Oh no, you don't. And out comes another javelin. Ah, damn. I was one away because it's got the crit range increase.
It just lands squarely in that dummy there, right behind you,
Funnily enough,
Liska.
like right next to the previous one.
Yeah.
God, that
the
19
dwarves in the
would
back
have
are
been
like,
beautiful.
"Fuck."
Yep.
And yeah, I can't really bring out another one. So moving away would provoke if I recall. Does moving out of the range provoke as well as in? I know it's a meta question,
Well,
but I
it's
feel
not
like you
moving
know
in.
by now.
Not moving in, but moving out.
Moving out.
Normally.
Again, it is a meta. He'd know this because literally they fall together a lot in the scene.
Yeah.
So again, with the same sort of combo, though with less oomph behind it because of lack of fighting spirit.
Right? And as he
In
moves
goes
in,
Velen. Her military fucking prowess is.
So as he moves in, she's going to attack him because he provokes.
Okay.
And so she's going to attack with this.
What's more, it's a tactic he's used before, so it's incredibly ineffective. So that puts me to 0, so I'd be back where I was.
Yes. So you're stuck right there. So you start
I had
trying
a
to move
feeling
in,
that
and
was
she
coming.
just jabs you with a pike.
I think not.
There's my temp HP gone. Exactly.
So yeah, Felicia's going to. Oop, that's not what I want. Just gonna move just around, just kind of circling a little. And then she's going to attack again.
Oof.
Or 12. And then. Uno más. Oop, I'm pretty sure that misses.
So it definitely misses. For once, it doesn't hit Val.
Right, and then let's see, what can she do as a bonus action? She's gonna second wind. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Hopefully mine does better. Nope, exactly the same. All right,
Right.
and that is. Oh, my turn.
Right, that might be gone for in a while, won't it? Remember to make your summit to replace it. And at that point, Vellum is going to take the dodge action. Actually, no. Does disengage work for things like this as well? Or is it any attack of opportunity, or is it just specifically the normal ones?
It's any. Your
provoke.
movement does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Hold on, that's actually fucking.
Yeah, I know this is fiddly, but I'd rather know this for the future in case we come across, people who use similar tactics. Because provoke is a very specific than the phrasing.
If you take disengage action, your movement does provoke opportunity attacks for the rest of the turn.
Okay, so that should hypothetically work in this circumstance. So
Yes.
Vellum's not as stupid as he once was. He's not going to try charging in again and hoping to dodge. He's going to disengage and go forward and be right up in her steam. A little more careful than I used to be. And since he can't really do much else, because that was an action, that'll be him. And click.
Sorry, I also want to check something else.
I'm a lot more careful than I used to be, says the only one with an orange pog.
Hey, it's Liska. That's not a slight on me, it's a kudos to her.
Alright, I want to check something.
I'm just teasing you, man.
It's fine.
Okay, so Sentinel. Okay, cool. Because Sentinel has a weird interaction with disengage, but it specifies
Outward as opposed to in.
leaving. It doesn't say entering.
Yep.
So, because disengage came out before Cavalier
Vellum
did.
wasn't going outwards, he was going deeper in.
Yep. All right. Liska's gonna be like, okay. And she is now going to.
Murder a bitch.
No. She's like sees him come in, like see him just kind of bobbing and weaving, and just be like, all right. And she is going to do this first.
So tempted to dodge to avoid a lot of this, but disengaging seemed like the safer option to fucking.
Athletics or
Attack modifier,
acrobatics. Nice. And then,
Holding its ground surprisingly.
yeah, and then she's going to use this.
I was
now-
wondering when bear time would happen.
Yeah. So He push proficiency plus 2. So hold on, what is
All
that?
right. Liska rears back her head.
16 DC.
Liska rears back her head, roars this primordial bear-like ursine roar, which echoes throughout the valley itself.
And just because she's also going to target the dwarves.
Dwarves are suddenly running for their lives. I am going to use Indomitable.
Good call.
That would have failed.
Yeah, it's a single.
There we go.
It's a
There you go.
single creature, sadly.
But yeah, there's a moment where it's like he clearly flinches from the sudden manifestation aspect of this ursine figure that is Liska. But then plants his feet, grits his teeth, and holds his ground.
Alright. And then let's see, what do we want? Yeah, because
What do we
she
want?
can. Because her movement still allows. She's going to this and provoke.
Ah. Time. Oh, let me turn off. Oh, advantage is turned off. Swing! Yeah. You're a lot more agile than I give you credit for.
You know, it's the hooves. She like lifts up a hoof, shakes it.
Once knew somebody who had a big problem with hooves.
Is
I heard
that
that?
anyone else?
Yeah, like didn't catch the last half of that.
Oh, I once knew a guy who had a problem with his hooves.
It's true.
Oh no.
Liska doesn't get that reference, but the player does.
Yeah,
and he appreciates it.
Yep. But yeah, Velum's gonna be a little more daring, and actually no, I'm dodging wouldn't do anything either. End up in the same spot with more risk, so I'll just disengage, but do so here. And somebody as trained as Liska would be able to see that he's trying to limit her movement options as opposed to where she goes. Trying to gain some sort of battlefield control. It's adorable. And that'll be me. I can't tick because
Yeah, why isn't yours popping up? That's weird.
you never clicked yours, so it just went over mine.
I did though.
Oh, weird.
I guess the API is fucked up. All right.
Well.
Do you want me to just go? Okay, there we go.
I mean, it doesn't hugely matter. There's only two of us.
I mean, it's also Liska's turn. So.
Oh. There you go.
All right. Yeah, why not? This is her. This
Wheelhouse.
is what you, yep.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, you can still beat it.
He's focusing too much on his footing, and boom.
Yeah, he's worried about the pike, and then suddenly just like shield bash. It's like fuck.
Yeah, like weaves the pike, then bam.
Spartans.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, he's never seen a fight like this before, so he has no frame of reference.
This is a fighting style very unique to Torment.
Yep. The fuck you up style. So I am on my ass.
All I'm picturing is that scene where Leonidas and his Spartans meet the other guys that were the other army. Except Liska is Leonidas, Velum is the other dude.
I am
What is your
surprisingly still at.
profession?
What is the there's that slow-mo where like Leonidas just shield bashes a motherfucker
Oh yeah, yeah.
and like
Chops
Yeah,
his leg
that's-
off.
oh this is it. That's basically Sable comes running up. Bam.
Bam.
Whack.
Still can't figure out a way around that.
That's the first one. It's the second.
The second also hits.
Crack.
It's the second.
And that would normally put him down, but he's stubborn if not anything.
This
He's a
is
Heiberg.
your orcish heritage burning up in your veins right now.
Alright. And
Not that easy.
yeah, and then for this time, Liska will not move. She's just gonna like, she stands there and just kind of like, come on your feet.
On his feet he does. I was gonna move him. I remembered that is a terrible idea. So instead, I'ma just swing. And big part of me was hoping for a crit. I'll be real.
Understand.
At that point, it's just as they like sort of get deflected by the shield or just bounce off. All right, I think I'm done for today. How about you?
He, like, as soon as he says that, Liska just kind of like waits a moment, and then nods.
To check if
Just
it's not a
kind of-
ploy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just kind of like lowers her shield and kind of stands where she is.
The crowds of the Iron Guard just go wild. Just they've never seen these types of battle techniques before, and you gather that some of them have definitely kind of taken on what you're putting down this go and this. You notice a couple off in the distance. One starts to use his shield in a very sort of similar manner as you were, Liska. The mounted guard just kind of looks on, understands the sort of the making use of that shield. Yeah, mounted guard very shield orientated, and they just gives a nod of respect.
Liska returns
Dancing
it.
himbo school.
I feel like Liska is like, what would happen if somebody looks at a shield being used passively and be like,
No.
this should be used actively, and then just bashes a motherfucker.
It's like, wait, I
That's very
can
much
fuck
what she
people
is.
up with this.
Yeah,
It's like, yes, you can.
It's a big wall of metal, much like myself.
Yep. So,
I'm
yeah.
kinda
So she's going
tempted.
to. Oh, sorry.
I'm kind of tempted to maybe make her a shield with a sharpened edge, so she can literally just.
Oh,
punch
there's a thing for
somebody.
that in the blacksmithing.
Make
Spiked shields.
make a round shield with a bladed edge. Fucking Captain America and this a bitch.
Anyway,
Has the returning feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's going to. Oh wait, can you do this? Yeah, okay. So yeah, she's going to kind of reach down, offer her hand to help Vellum onto his feet.
oh, he was already on his feet, but from there, it may as well be.
Gotcha. And she's like, that was a good one. You got some good hits in. She's gonna like casually walk over to where she put the sword in the ground.
And
Pull it
Bellum
out.
will go pick his shield up. Yeah, I'm surprised I managed to get any, but I suppose that's a good thing in some ways.
Yeah, it means you're getting better.
Well, watching someone like you in combat, I figure it's a good example.
Yeah, I've had time to train.
No, I haven't.
Well, luckily you have me. So, if you want to, I can try to get, I don't know. Do you think we can fit about 120 years of training in like a few weeks?
I know I picked up smithing in the space of a few years, so maybe I'm a fast learner, who knows? And there is a smile, it's like he's clearly joking. He's not even gonna live to 120.
Yeah. Liska's young. She's like late teens, early 20s.
So is valid. But fucking longevity races.
I don't
How long have you
know
got left on that anyway?
She kind of like looks at the sword, just kind of thinks, I don't know, like maybe half a year, I think.
Plenty of
don't
time
know.
to make summit.
I'm sure. I mean, I can always fall back on, and she has like the pike. She also pulls out her
The
maul. Yeah. Like
I figure
have-
in half
I
a
have
year's
idea.
time I'll have gotten much better than I am and make you something real nice.
Mm.
Maybe even better than that. He sort of points at the maul, which is clearly, a fine piece.
It's a legendary.
Dwarven make. Is it legendary? I was not
I
aware
thought it
of
was
this.
a +2.
Wait,
It's a +1.
the pike?
Ah, not even. I
Oh,
overestimated.
sorry. I thought we were talking about the Slayer's blade. Never mind.
No, I'm
No,
talking
no,
about like
he was talking about them all.
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That's a +1.
wait, that's
I thought it
legendary.
was a +2.
Why was I not?
Jenner thinking it's a
informed of this?
legendary. Back in code. So who knows? Figure I gotta do something for you. Watching our backs the way you do.
Yeah, it's just how I was trained. I was originally planning on being a bodyguard for one of the twins, but
Yeah, you
I
did
was
mention.
beaten.
Didn't you? Right, let's
Yeah.
get some food, some drink, and I need to rest my aching bones.
Right. Maybe we can try this again sometime.
Yeah, sure.
It's been
Probably
while
want to give
since
me a
I've
bit
done
to
one on
improve, otherwise it's going to be just the same.
one. But, maybe. We'll
Maybe.
never know. And then gonna walk. I guess with
Come by.
Velen back inside.
All right.
Walk on by.
As the crowds
Leave
begin to...
leave the rumor mill to run its course outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word spreads, shit happens, temples explode.
Temples do indeed explode.
It's like half the party's outside doing crazy shit in the courtyard, half the party's inside
Also-
doing crazy shit in the temple. It's
yeah.
good.
Having a grand old time.
All right. So, what else would you guys like to do in the meantime? We can sort of skip over the couple days that Arngrim, Sayun, and Grandcrow are doing it, so they're crafting here until you all meet back in the same place.
Oh, okay, they're taking a couple days off.
I mean, the whole crafting would have taken a couple days.
Gotcha. Bellen would have gone shopping, which I already DM'd you about.
Yep.
Gold is expensive, as I have learned.
Easy enough to
It's
find.
almost like it's a currency.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds like it's valuable. Just double checking something. Fuck, what was I gonna do? Damn it, my brain went mush. Yeah,
Do you want me to pan over to Liska while you think?
power over the Liska, my brain was like...
Okay. Liska, I think we discussed last time you wanted to do some shopping of yourself.
Yeah, just see kind of like what's
Okay.
boot in the boot.
Right. I did some previously. Okay. Finding anything interesting that might pique your interest. Being a wealthy dwarven stronghold with sort of deep connections to Dune Hollow, this place has one particular magic shop of renown called the Sorcerer's Source. Let me stick that in the chat there for you.
What is it with dwarven people and being like, alright, I'll need to name my shop something that rhymes.
Yeah, alliteration. It's easy to remember.
It's a fine dwarven tradition from many
Yeah,
parts.
but not when your shop is called SS.
Wait. No.
See, let's go went somewhere fun.
It's a fun name, all right. I don't need you.
Hey,
I don't need this.
you're not that bad. A guy I watched on YouTube, he made a shop in some kind of RP thing, where he called it something HH, and then had a sign outside that says HH. You know what that also stands for?
Oh no. Let's
Side tangent. Back to
let's
game.
get back to the game.
Very much side tension. We're all very excitable today.
Sorcerer's Source. It's a fairly out of the way establishment in the more upper class areas of the market district. It appears as though it has a fairly decent selection of wares. The dwarven gentleman, the owner of the shop, got an ashen coal skin, fairly fair hair tied up into an ornate beard, with various stone runes woven through it, and he also possesses what looks like a prosthetic clockwork arm, seems to transform into a runic enchanting rod. And you see this as you walk in, and he's busy enchanting what appears to be a metallic golden wand. So as you kind of look around, you see a number of interesting items. To keep things brief, I'll give you the rundown of the items and the prices here. There's the Hat of Disguise, which is while wearing this hat you can use an action to cast the Disguise self spell from it at will. The spell ends if the hat is removed. It costs 250 gold and it requires attunement. Let's stick that in the chat. There's one. There is the Helm of Telepathy, which is requires attunement. Once per dawn you can cast Detect Thoughts with a DC of 13, and it costs 360 gold pieces. It's the a lace. There's a collection of three lace stones. A lace stone of awareness, which is for attunement. While attuned to it, you can't be surprised. That's 11,000 gold pieces. There is the lace stone of reserve, which requires attunement. Has a 1 level 2 spell slot with the spell enlarge/reduce within it. Costs 13,000 gold pieces. The Laystone of Supreme Intellect requires attunement, +1 to your intelligence score, so 12,000. And the Necklace of Adaptation, attunement for 400 gold. Winged Boots for 500 gold. Wingwear, these two appear to come in like in a set. There's
What does the wingwear do?
Wingwear.
It's underwear with wings on.
I had it up a moment ago. Let me find it. Wingwear. So a suit of wingwear has 3 charges, and while you wear the suit, you can use a bonus action and expend 1 charge to gain a flying speed of 30 feet until you land. At the end of each of your turns, your altitude drops by 5 feet. Your altitude drops instantly to 0 feet at the end of your turn if you didn't fly at least 30 feet horizontally on that turn. When your altitude drops to 0 feet, you land or fall, and you must expend another charge to use the suit again. The suit regains all expended charges after spending at least 1 hour in an elemental air node.
Interesting.
So fly up and then land as fast as possible on someone.
Yeah.
It's like it's a wingsuit.
Yeah,
It's like
pretty much.
those flying squirrel suits.
Yeah. You also have the Gauntlets of Ogre Power. And
Excuse me.
it appears as though that they have been recovered from the siege of Druvenhelm outside. There's a Gem of Brightness, which does not require attunement. You have a simple +1 chain shirt for 300 gold, and you have a number of scrolls as well.
Neat. Very succinct. Good job, Janer.
Alrighty then.
I can see a few things I would like.
Yeah. Question.
Mhm.
Oh wait, they're basically the Laystones are basically iron stones, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Let me check all those then to get specific. Okay, so intellect is to a maximum. Wait, is +1 to intelligence?
Yes,
Okay.
+1
Does
to,
that
to each score.
does that exceed? Does that increase the maximum, or is it up to 20?
Supreme Intellect. Up to a. It doesn't say. The Iron Stone.
Because the Iron Stone itself says it's a +2 to intelligence, but to a maximum of 20. So I didn't know if this was like a pseudo,
It's
or like a different type.
It's the it's the Iron Stone of Supreme Intellect. Let me stick that in the party chat there for you.
Tick.
And it does not say for any maximums. So I imagine it would seem that it exceeds 20. Which is probably why it costs a lot.
Oh, it's a +1 bonus to intelligence checks, not intelligence. Okay.
Oh, right, my bad. Sorry, I must have misread that.
That's fine. You good, you good. Alright. So, let's see. Change quality, fine. Working on control elements. This good can use none of these. Let's see. She is... Wisdom or awareness is nice, though.
That's the tough thing with things that require attunement.
Especially since... Question. Did they ever figure out... this is to the party and to other people. Did y'all ever figure out the whole changing the shield thingamajigger that
Changing.
basically gives you the awareness? That basically makes a sentinel shield. Did you ever figure out?
Oh right, I think that was too fiddly for us to.
Okay.
You're talking about like using that
Yeah.
little divot in the shield to pop something in, but I think due to the fact that A, it's magical, and B, adding something would work it to shit, and trying to figure out how to balance that, I think we're just like, can't do it.
Yeah.
We have kind of done that in the past, but
This is a very
this is magic
And you
on
very
magic.
much.
yeah,
And
magic
you
on
also you also just literally did that with an axe. So
Yeah, we
Mundane
did
axe.
do that.
you took it from. Yeah, it's true. You took a magical axe, absorbed the stuff from it, and then put it into
that.
that would allow it
Let's
to
discuss it out
use the
of session.
amulet. Right. Anyway, it's because if she has the shield thing, she wouldn't want the Laystone of Awareness.
Sorry, I know it's
Um,
relevant, but like we'd have to have another discussion about that, and that'd be the entire session.
Yeah.
True. In that case, so
I think it was just found that like you just have to put the thing on a shield.
Oh god.
you know,
just
in
realized
that case, what's up?
We give Liska another shield, except we give it the spiked thing from Vellum's Forge thing. Then we attach the thing so you can dual wield 2 shields.
I have looked plentifully into dual wielding shields. It is not
Become wall.
No, thank you.
Very-
All right. She's going to talk to the gentleman at the counter. To be like, hello. You know, I like this Laystone of Awareness, but I have a question because I have something that's very similar. Actually, it might be a little bit better, but and she pulls out the thing that that Balthazar gave. It's like, so this does the same, but it also makes me like react quicker. And I was wondering if perhaps are you interested in potentially buying it, or if it's possible, do you have the capability of transferring like this enchantment onto the Laystone, so that makes the Laystone a little bit better? They are kind of the same.
I'm afraid it's out of my capabilities, and I've heard it can be done with someone who's very experienced in that sort of stuff. I mainly just resell these things that were brought in from elsewhere.
That's fine. I'll tell you what, then would you mind, would you be okay with buying this, purchasing?
I could. We'll see. Maybe. How does 400 gold sound?
It sounds like not enough. That's fine. And she like puts it back in her pocket. And she's going to Look around. She does this. Sorry, I'm trying to think of all the stuff that she can and can't do, and that she needs. She's going to purchase the wing boots. She's going to purchase the gauntlets of ogre power. She's going to purchase. Oh, does she want that? She can't use spells. So she's going to. Yeah, she's going to just purchase those for now.
Okay, so the winged boots and the gauntlets of ogre power.
Yeah, so
Okay, so just
total
mark-
of 970. Gotcha.
Alright. So mark those off in your sheet.
Yep. And I think think of how scary Liska is now. Wait until she's flying at you on the battlefield.
Oh boy.
I'm afraid.
Literal blue dragon.
I'm suddenly having an image of like a Bollywood movie, you know?
Yeah.
I know the exact one you're talking about.
Yep. So yeah, she's going to get those. Like, thank you very much. Might be back. Probably will. My friends will probably want to look over these things.
Alright.
But for now, just have a fantastic day.
Gives
She's
you
so
a
important.
gives you a nod of respect. Your name and face is kind of permeating around the stronghold. It seems. Right. There's also a potion shop. Should you wish to check it out.
Sure, why not?
Called
Give me your
the
strongest potion.
strongest
Your
potions.
strongest potion.
Called the Magician's Gullet.
Nice.
While not as numerous, kind of and having high prices as they would be in Dune Hollow, there are still the occasional alchemy shops and potion shops where certain magical brews are sold. This one appears to be appears to have the largest selection of potions available, and it's owned by an ancient-looking dwarven woman. Her skin is weathered, wrinkled, and pock-marked, and look. One tooth sticks out of her underbite. She almost looks like a sort of old babushka archetype.
Nice.
Looks like she's been in the trade for many decades, and she's got quite a wide array of potions and tinctures, salves, herbal remedies. You have the potion of bottled breath for 300 gold, oil of slipperiness for 250 gold. And actually, no, I'll just stick them there. There you go.
Damn.
Yeah, potion of animal friendship, potion of clairvoyance, potion of climbing, potion of comprehension, potion of diminution, fire breath, flying, lots of four healing potions, 3 greater healing potions, 2 superior healing potions, and 1 supreme healing.
Oh, fucking price tag on that one.
Well, it's a supreme healing potion.
I know.
These things
Goddamn.
are legendary.
I'd like to point out that heals more than your entire HP pool.
There.
And
Well worth the money.
it is kept under lock and key. Looks like it's been there for years, and it's been very well kept.
And I hope some rats don't come steal it.
That would be hilarious. Yeah. Let's see. I think she's gonna kind of look at all of it and just like,
Everything you see.
Yes, I mean it's a lot of potions. I like it. I don't know if it's really my. I don't know if anything is really kind of my jam. Like really kind of fits. The healing potions though are pretty nice. Let us get. Hold on. let me math real quick with a calculator to see what all. Okay. Pushing and flying. I just got boots for flying, so haha. Let's see.
While you're calculating that, shall we pan over to Vellum?
Sounds like a smart idea.
Yeah. Vellum, what are you doing right now?
Just been checking a thing. Questions, Jen.
Yes.
So, I think if my memory serves, which has been wrong before, Dark Iron, the DC for that was basically the same as Steel.
Yes.
And what special effects did it have, or do I not learn that until I work with it and learn how it works? Because I tried looking through DMs and I couldn't find any entries on Dark Iron.
Yeah, I think it was literally just iron, just deep.
It's just iron, but
Yeah, and it's the difficulty of acquiring it which makes it more uncommon than regular iron.
okay. Well, Vellum's gonna spend some time hopefully learn that. Let me just get the DC for you. Is the
Alright.
wrong that is Kraz's DM. I don't want to be in that one. There we go. Where did the DC go? Come back here, you. There it is. DC for.
Okay. Liska, have you mathed?
Yes, Liska is
You do
going
that while I
to.
Yeah.
There we go. I think I have settled that down. Okay. No, I actually want to do that first before I do that. So, Liska is going to look. It's like I'm probably going to buy. I mean, the potions of healing are always very, very good. If I buy in bulk, can I have a discount?
Go ahead, make I'll say make a persuasion check with advantage. You know what you've done for the city.
All right.
We
So
did literally just save her entire business.
advantage still at a -1.
8.
8.
It was
9. I'll tell you what. Thread of fate.
okay. There you go.
Rewriting time to get better prices.
And it's just one roll. It's not,
What a tremendous use of a legendary artifact.
Hey man, what else are you gonna use it for?
You have advantage. You have advantage.
Oh, okay.
Son of a bitch.
7.
Good lord.
How about you
Not
give
a
it to me for
single above
free?
10.
So from what you gather, she quite a significant portion of her stock has been it's
Supply and demand.
yeah it's in high demand right now, and she being the savvy businesswoman, she hasn't lasted this long without a few business not deceptive tricks, but she hasn't survived this long without being
Understanding the market.
without
Yeah, I
being
mean,
a ruthless businesswoman.
Right. So Liska, when asked this, she'll have so she would have 4 potions of healing, 3 potions of greater healing, and 1 of the potions of superior. And when the whole no discount, Liska's like, okay, fine, and she's going to push the superior healing away. But then I'll take these. It's like you lose
Okay.
thousands of gold because you wouldn't give me a discount. All right.
Well,
And yeah, so that comes out to
I'm so sorry for those low rolls, man.
I mean, it's not your fault. It's RNG.
Yeah,
Liska has a
Fate said
-1
no.
to charisma. So, yeah, she's not charismatic. She just leads through action.
Yep.
All right, and yeah, so get those. I'll mark those down.
All right.
And yeah, she's going to she's gonna try the earring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is anyone within range? Like, is the party within range? I feel like they might not be.
I would imagine Vellum is.
Okay.
Doubt. He would be outside.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh yeah.
You
because-
forget where and how he smiths.
Yeah, okay. Well, he literally has a sunblade, so he can. Okay.
I
Well,
mean, he still enjoys
And he
the
has
real
a sun
thing.
orb.
He does, but he still enjoys the real
the
thing.
sun orb does not shed sunlight.
We had this discussion before. But either way, he would still prefer the real deal. He has the option to do things, but he has the opportunity to also enjoy a nice sunny day.
Yep. Just because he can doesn't mean he needs to. So yeah, she's going to leave with her haul, and just kind of look down. It's like, man, like the potions cost more than all these magic items. What the fuck? And then, then she's going to, try to find the party. All right, mostly she's gonna. Let's see, when she got those, she's mostly gonna find Vellum.
Okay.
Well, you
And-
probably know where he'd be by now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she, depending on if she knew he was smithing, she'll find him, whatever. And then she's going to kind of see he's doing his thing, and walk up. It's like, hey, can you take a moment?
I could talk and work. What do you need?
I got these. And she's gonna hold out the gauntlets of ogre strength. I think they might help you in combat.
So, are they magical? What's that?
Yeah, they increase your strength to that of an ogre's.
Huh. That'd be handy. You sure they're not better? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm all for the idea of being stronger, but isn't Grunker usually the one who uses strength a lot more than me?
Yeah, but Grunka also, well, I mean, you swing a sword, so I feel that you are about to equal in that regard, but Grunka also has a lot of magical items. That,
Fair point. He
attunes.
he is a hoarder. Yeah. Well, I'll take a look at those when I'm done here. As you can see, he's sort of trying to work on a very dark-looking metal.
Alright, well, I'll
But
have
thanks
them.
so much to owe you.
Oh, I think they were like just 450, and we'll call it even.
Sure. I, as a
Gold.
player, will do math now. It's in my bag. Then. Feel free to take it out. He seems very intently focusing.
Alright. And Liska's going. Well, she's gonna be like, "Well, I'll hold on to them. Whenever you're finished, like at the end of the day, come find me, and we'll take care of it then."
All right then. See you then.
Right? It's like, do you happen to know where Sal, Arngrim, and all them are?
Well, I haven't seen I'd know any of them for ages, so my guess is they're working on something. Try over in the smithing quarter of this place, or whatever they call it.
Right. And she's gonna nod, head back inside, and try to find the rest of the group. I think this is when they're crafting the axe.
Yes.
think
As always.
Right as you finish, I think.
Yep, right as you finish it, and you walk in to the main workshop, and just around the corner, just out of sight, you just see this blaze of fiery orange energy, which quickly disappears right as you round the corner, and you see Grunker holding up some sort of strange obsidian twisted axe.
Arngrim is there, incredibly proud, next to a shattered anvil.
Melted. Literal just a slag of heat.
Right. Liska, like, totally ignoring all the odd looks and stuff like that, just kind of comes like, "Hey, so I was wondering, like, I was just coming from shops and whatever. They have some interesting magical items that I think would probably interest some of you at least. I know they have some waystones," and she points to Sao. Some other things like scrolls. that might kind of be up your alley?
We'll take a look. So just sort of motions to the axe and then the anvil.
Something happened?
Mild gesture
I
to
made an
Arn.
artifact.
Oh, nice. Cool. So, yeah,
Just
that.
completely disinterested.
So yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, those magic shops, like I said, I think it'd be at least some of you would find things interesting. I got something that would increase Vellum's strength, because he's kind of wimpy, but
He is.
yeah,
He's a bit of a noodle arm lad.
I prefer lied. Sorry.
wiry. But yeah, something that would help increase his strength to make him a bit more effective in combat. And then, yeah, they have like laystones, those things that float around your head and do interesting stuff.
Oh,
But,
yes.
But yeah. Also, scrolls. There's a potion place that allows you to buy stuff. She doesn't like giving discounts, but maybe you can manage.
Maybe.
Anyway,
Gotta have that dwarven gap.
maybe. She seemed so old that she probably knows where that saying comes from.
She maybe invented it.
Could be. Could be. She seemed older than the ground, than the stone she was standing on. Anyway. Good job on whatever it is you did. She kind of motions to the anvil, like, congratulations. And then she just turns and walks out.
Always the supportive type.
That's what she can. She's like the parent that's just like, yeah, okay, you just beat the level on,
Yeah.
Monster Death Kill 23. It's just like, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's like you're interested, so it's important to you, so obviously it's important to me.
Yeah, like you're trying to be supportive, but you just can't get into the hobby, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really understand it, but I'm glad you're happy.
Yep. That is let's go in a nutshell.
okay. So, what else would anyone like to do here?
I was gonna do my thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so I was double checking this. When you want to learn new materials by default, it doubles the DC. Like for example, Mithril is +2 to the DC for the crafting.
Yep.
If I wanted to learn that, I'd have to double that.
Okay.
But since it's on the same level as steel, there is no DC, so I just have to make something apparently going to this, and I learn dark iron.
All right.
So I'm gonna make a dagger with the dark iron, or at least try to.
Just like Skyrim.
I was just about to say the Skyrim method.
Yep. All right. All the materials are provided to you in the foundry, the workshop here.
Well,
He's
those A
outside,
outside,
so-
and
Oh,
B
you're
using
right,
a metal
right.
that comes from deep underground.
Yeah.
Remember,
right,
Vellum,
How are you gonna actually smelt metal when you're outside?
the sun.
The sun. Anyway,
I don't know
Oh.
why.
and just like that, I've learned dark iron.
There you go.
So I've made like a dark iron dagger.
All right.
Now I'm going to return it back into regular metal. Because
Oh.
we have recycle rules that we figured out a while ago. I'm going to finally use them.
Okay.
According to what I see in the notes here, this is the other thing I was checking in a long time. I do a smith check, and depending on how well I do, like, a value of the material is recovered for using. So, like, for example, one ingot of... I'd spent 2 GP to make worth of ingot of dark iron to make this. So, depending on if I roll high, then I can get most of that back. If I roll low, I only get a little bit back. Basically. So I'll make the roll and
All right.
yes. So just changing it back to strength. I doubt it's a dexterity check. 24. So, as DM, how much GP value out of the 2 GP that was spent would you say I'd get back?
I would say, yeah, with a 24, I would say you get 1 gold, 5 silver back.
Cool. Let me just add that to my notes. And I mean, I had crafting I wanted to do, but I could do that out of
Sure.
like in the background because it's just rolls.
Yeah, okay. So, if no one else wants to go, I can do something here.
Does anyone want to go to the magic shop to grab stuff?
I would like to go to the
I'll
magic
go
shop.
with Lisa.
Everyone's rushing to the magic shop.
there
General,
you
what
go.
do?
There you go.
Well, I mean, like Liska found her stick.
Yeah.
Like she'll tell y'all where to find it, but
Yep.
like you probably go with Sal.
Yep. So all the prices are there for reference. You can
Yes.
buy what you want.
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of magic.
You have your magic.
I'm a very magical boy.
Now I'm currently just picturing Lord of the Rings, except give me saying you have my axe. It's just Grunka screaming.
Like I have my axe.
Hooray, I learned a new metal. I'm happy. Yeah, sorry.
All right. Shall we just speed through the buying of items?
Yeah, if you like.
Cool. I would like the Gem of Brightness.
All right. Gem of Brightness, 400 gold. Mark that down.
Yes.
You're gonna make a flashbang with it, dude.
Maybe. The +1 changer is nice, but I can't remember who amongst us still has non-magical armor.
I don't think anybody. The only people who don't have armor, magical armor at this point, is Grunka, and he doesn't wear armor.
What's your armor
He
actually?
does not need armor.
My armor is fucking masterwork half plate.
Nice shit he made himself.
Not masterwork. It's not masterwork, is it? No, it's Let me double check. It's regular half plate, but Vellum would make his own shit anyway, and you know that character.
Yeah. The scroll of Revivify and the fuck it, let's take the scroll of Absorb Element for 30 fucking gold.
All right, go ahead. Mark that
Unless
down.
that's a fucking misprint, but I'm taking it.
Absorb elements. It is a first level spell, I believe, and those come to.
They're dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's one of the few spells I don't have on my list. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna
Use
take it
for most
anyway.
of the intended purpose.
It's a reaction spell anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gem of Brightness, Scroll Revivify, and Absorb Element.
Okay.
I am going to list them in my stuff as I am deducting gold.
Now, as a flavour point here, typically spell scrolls come in easy. These large pieces of parchment, and typically those are for spells that are very intentionally cast, you know, like an action or so. Reactionary spell scrolls are less like actual scrolls and more like talismans that you can squeeze at a moment's notice.
So basically, you have the talisman on you, and when you want to activate him, you just slam your hand on it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Emergency button.
Yep.
We need those for shield. I can make those.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Shield for everybody. Whee!
There you go.
Anyway, money time.
Ungrim, what would you like to buy?
I'm gonna grab that Revivify scroll.
Alright, 500 gold, mark that off.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you would buy it or I should, but anyway, it's bought now for you. Heyo.
Is that everything?
I do believe that's it. I don't think there's anything else here. What does the Necklace of Adaptation actually do?
Allows you to breathe anywhere. Underwater, in poison gas clouds, stuff like
In
that.
lava.
Technically lava.
Technically, yeah.
Breathe the lava, but boy,
but
you're
you
still
will
gonna
die.
The ultimate breathing lava.
Yeah, you'll find that air pocket in lava right before it sears your lungs off.
Yeah.
Unless you're Gronka.
I mean, even if you're Gronka, to be honest,
Even me, I think I
Even
would.
Gronka.
it'll,
I would probably die.
it'll just
Even
take
with the rest of them.
it'll just take slightly longer to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won't
die
die from
from drowning.
asphyxiation. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'll still die, alright. From being in lava.
Sure will.
He'll do that, dude.
So, if that's everything, we can move on to something else.
I will say, as a point of order, I am unattuning from the derived wound closure and tuning to the gauntlets.
All right then.
Velen will obviously be taking some time to affix plates to, like, on the outside of them to make them match his overall armor
Yeah.
scheme a bit more.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know that magic weapons don't take damage, so he's paranoid about damaging them because they were basically gotten for him. Because he's simple like that. And now I have 19 strength.
Liska. So you're travelling through the stronghold, the small town here. You take a moment to take in the sights and scenery. The heat starts to grate on you for a little bit, and you seek shelter for a moment in the more out of the way places. And eventually, you stumble on a cart pulled by a strange-looking figure cloaked in a long, form-obscuring robe. The figure has an odd gait, and it's then as he turns to check the roof of the cart, you see why. You notice the long red scales of its tail. This is a naga.
Yes, it's a snack.
The cart is decorated in all sorts of tassels and gold rings, baubles, curiosities, small jars filled with very strange preserved viscera. You can also see a number of objects on display. What looks like a rusted, old-looking metal arrow, a series of rare-looking coins, a blanket that looks like it's kind of scintillates with starlight, some odd-looking bangles and bracelets and circlets.
Sorry.
A large white furred cloak, and an old green-coloured axe.
Jenna, you dirty bitch.
What?
I heard the description of one of those items, and I know what it sounds like. Don't tease me with this again.
What?
Going to, like, kind of pose like, excuse me, are you a merchant for, of magical wares?
Ah, yes. You wish to see my curiosities, yes.
You see, as a raspy male voice comes from beneath the hood.
Come, let Shavor show you.
Javert?
Shove at you.
Sorry.
Right.
Shavor kind of slithers over behind the cart, and his long kind of gangled claws emerge from beneath his sleeves as he presents a number of items to you. There is the Seeker's Arrow. It's an uncommon item, 600 gold pieces. When the user holds this old tarnished arrow aloft, the arrow flies through a target enemy, ignoring AC to deal 1d6 piercing damage. The user continues to roll a d20 plus wisdom, and for each consecutive roll above 15, the arrow shoots through another target the same way. On a failure, the arrow returns to the user's hand and cannot be used again until after a long rest. And as Shavor presents each item to you, he tells us this little tale with each one, as if each item was recovered from some long distant land. He says,
Rumored to have been used by a psychically gifted Nidean hunter long ago. It was recovered by a fishing vessel 50 years ago from the bed of the Nidean Sea.
There is the Oh,
Oh, sorry, continue.
No, go ahead.
So the arrow, is it each subsequent turn you use an action to attack with it, or like what are the mechanics of it? Sorry.
You don't use an attack. Oh yeah.
It's basically magic missile.
Yeah. It's sort of like magic missile. It's like gambling on each enemy, each subsequent enemy.
Okay, gotcha. So it's basically you use an action to hold it up, and then it flies at someone.
Check party chat, you'll know.
I've also noticed that. No, yeah, I figured that, but I also noticed that it doesn't specify you may. It specifies that you must roll. So if you keep attacking with it, you can eventually get to your party. All right. Cool. What else?
He presents a single strange-looking coin. This is an all-or-nothing coin, a very rare coin, 1,000 gold pieces. Once per short rest, on a roll which you would normally use a d20, you can use a free action to flip this coin instead. Heads, heads is a critical success, and tails is a critical fail.
This coin was won and then promptly lost by a gambler who is said to have made a deal with the devil.
Interesting.
I'll post that in the chat.
That is basically the clockwork amulet, except in the total opposite direction.
Yep.
I like it.
There is the Blanket of Starlight. It's a common item, 40 gold. It's a soft, well-made blanket that can, once per long rest, emit a soft glow, maintained by concentration.
This blanket was crafted by an enchanter after his young son confided he was afraid of the dark to help his son get to sleep.
I should give this to Vellum. Okay. Interesting.
These, he kind of shows you what looks the bracelets of bonding, a common item, 30 gold.
Oh my.
It's a pair of bracelets that was created by
This pair of bracelets was created by a brother departing for war, for his younger brother who stayed home, to let him know if things back home took a turn for the worst. If the bracelet snapped, he promised to come home.
So effectively, one is broken, the other it breaks too. When one is mended, the other mends itself.
How the fuck did he get these? They clearly had an original owner, and they can't have been used because they'd be broken.
Well, they were
What
mended.
sorcery are you doing, Snack?
Well, it said in the description that you can mend it back.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So next up, he shows you what's the Circlet of Mental Fortitude. It is a rare item, 7,000 gold pieces, requires attunement.
It was made for a Dwarven noble who suffered from chronic migraines and hangovers.
And he said it's a copper-studded headband that soothes pain when worn. And when worn, the circlet grants resistance against psychic damage.
Man, if we had that fucking in the Underdark, it would be nice.
Yeah. He then shows you the Cloak of the Vascan Wanderer. It's a rare item. 8,100 gold pieces, requires attunement.
This hooded cloak
It's made. It's made of various patches of polar bear fur and has a belt fastened between the two front paws which drape over the shoulders, and it generates heat if blown by cold winds.
It was made by a Vaskar soothsayer as a gift for his lover. So she might travel the White Wastes without worry of freezing.
Effectively, when worn, this cloak grants resistance against cold damage, and you automatically succeed any checks made to deal with extreme cold.
It's kind of what I have.
Sort of, yeah. He then shows you the strange green axe. It is the Broken Empire blade. It's a rare item, 2,000 gold pieces.
This rare, ancient broken shard of adamantite was once the bladed tip of an enormous great sword wielded by one of the Aktashi's Empire's many hill giant warriors long ago. During the War of Broken Chains, it was embedded into a dark wood haft and used as a primitive battle axe.
Effectively, when you hit a giant with this weapon, the giant takes an extra 1d6 points of slashing damage.
Hitting a giant implies I'm not gonna melt that fucker down.
Knew it.
All right. So this is gonna be like, I like this. I like it a lot. She's going to. Okay, hold on. I actually need to roll for this. Give me a second. I'm not gonna.
Weren't we hunting a giant?
Okay. Liska's going to. It's like. This is all very nice, but. I'll tell you what. I'll buy. Let me see that coin.
Kind of lets you see the coin. It doesn't let it go. He very savvy businessman. He's not gonna let anyone run off with it.
He's a shifty business.
Yeah.
I'll purchase the coin.
Very well. Kind of holds out a hand with the coin in the other hand.
Okay, she's gonna pass over 100 platinum.
All right. He
He
examines the coins for a moment and then hands over the one coin to you.
Okay. And she's gonna like start walking away, then stop, and then turn around. It's like, actually, I'll tell you what. I really like that broken blade. Can I get it? But it seems kind of iffy. Can I get a discount?
He kind of strokes his chin for a moment. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Actually. Again, that 20.
I knew it! I fucking knew it!
So, natural 20.
You cheeky motherfucker.
It was 50-50. If she rolled 11 or above on her intelligence check, she was she was smart enough to do it. If she rolled 10 or below, she wouldn't.
I'll give you inspiration for that. That was gold. I love it.
Oh man, I missed something good.
Oh, you sure fucking did. Liska just outsmarted. She went big brain.
Yep. She has a little bit of a nosebleed.
Yeah. I knew that was going to happen, and I was just rolling with it. That was because that's hilarious.
Well, you have been a good business partner with the few moments we've met. Very well. A discount of, say, perhaps 1,800 gold for the broken Empire blade.
1750.
Make one more persuasion check.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Oh, hey, not that bad.
Not bad.
Very well. 1750 it is.
Alright, she's gonna hand it over.
All right.
And with her fancy, she's gonna be like, I like this coin. And then that's good shit. Yeah, she now has her.
So go ahead and mark those off.
Right. Sweet.
Very well done.
Thank you. Yeah, she's like, fuck yes, got what, adamantine, Like,
Nice.
nice. And so yeah, she's going to get those. She got that. She got this. Cool.
All right.
And fuck, she's gonna be like, is there anything else that I need? Like the Seeker's arrow, she's just like, that's just really cool, but I'll never use it. Sal might.
That's literally this kind of shop in a nutshell. It's like, God,
really
they're
is.
also cool, but I'm never gonna use it.
Yeah. She's going to be like over the earrings, like, Sal, are you within range?
Would Sal be within range?
I don't even think Ducky is within range. They BRB.
Oh no. Oh no.
Fuck it.
Must be
She's
in the
gonna be
back.
like, she's like, okay, you know what? You got me. Like, I'll take the arrow too.
Very good, very good. You've been a very good business partner, shall we say? 580 gold?
2% off? Sure. How about 540? Like a good round, even number.
You're really pushing it. Go ahead and make one more
There's
persuasion
so many
check.
round numbers between them. Oh yes, what about
just,
2? That's a good round number.
Yeah, Liska's just fucking around. Doesn't know what she's doing.
Pushing the envelope.
11.
580.
560.
You've done 3 persuasion checks.
Alright.
She got 1 success. It's like, man, budgeting is easy.
Although you do have inspiration.
Yeah, sure. Why the fuck not?
Why the fuck
Get it and use it. So here's the.
Blow it immediately. That's the way of it.
So I mean that we so rarely use it anyway, right?
Yeah.
So a new persuasion roll or the advantage on the last one?
Advantage on the last one, so one more.
Okay,
Isn't it rerolls?
One.
just one. Not a nat one.
No.
Just a one.
580 gold.
I'm just trying to do you. I'm just trying to help you out. Man. You know? Okay.
And you have helped me out a lot. You have taken many of these items off my hands. And put much gold
What
within them.
the way you say that makes me almost not want like. Is something wrong with these items?
No.
Make a persuasion check. I'm just kidding.
You're not the DM here.
The sun cast.
All right.
So, suddenly,
Yeah, so-
you can no longer make crits with the coin.
Oh, bitch! Man, cursed items, that would suck. That'd be hilarious, though.
Cursed items
Like,
are amazing.
I remember your face.
Yeah.
Alright, so,
You missed a
more
call from
Liska shenanigans.
Okay.
And so, yeah, she's going to get that, and then she's going to come back out. And be like, okay. She's like, okay, that's fine. Go away. Go, shoot.
Are you sure you don't want to purchase anything from old Chavor?
Does Shavor have anything more interesting? Or just what you have so far? I've already bought like half of your stock.
Point taken.
And with that, he kind of wheels his cart off.
Slithers off.
Take that.
So yeah, and it's gonna come, like, be like, all right, I found shit. Let's go, and going to, yeah, gonna just go and find the group again. Like,
All right.
hey, I got more shit.
All right.
So this is the day we're leaving, right?
Is this the day we're leaving?
Is it?
I don't know. I didn't catch when this happened.
I imagine
That-
this kind of happened after.
Oh, at some point.
Yeah. At some point during the past few days.
Does
Oh.
Liska mention this very odd salesman to anyone?
Oh yeah. As soon as he's back with the party, she's like, hey guys, okay, I found a lot of weird shit, some cool stuff, but here, Sal. And she's gonna hold up the arrow. It's like, okay, so this arrow, if you just like lift it up, and she's like miming it with the arrow, and then like throw it at somebody, it hits them. But but if you concentrate real hard, it can keep hitting people.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean that's not my thing. I'm not the concentrating type, but here, have fun. You also owe me like 580 gold.
Are you like just mugging wizards or something? Coming back with a lot
No,
of magic.
like I'm paying wizards for the shit that they have.
Where are you getting this shit from?
It's like a snake person.
I
Okay.
think this is more magic stuff than we've seen in the last several months. Wait,
Well,
snake
we've been
person?
traveling
Okay,
for
we're
like
all
the last-
adults. You can curse.
But yeah, the snake person, Shaven.
Oh,
It'd be funny if it was shaven because they don't have hair.
I mean, they need a shape.
Pronounced chevron, and it's a type of triangle.
No, he seemed pretty like snake-like. Not really a triangle.
Snakes are just long triangles.
I swear.
I keep trying to say shit, but you keep hitting me all over and over again with this shit.
I mean, it's
Snakes
right.
are just long triangles.
Yeah, I mean, it's
You
right.
know what? It's
Damn.
going in the dumb quote channel.
Yep, yep. I'm gonna put that in the wall of shame.
All right, go ahead then.
Nice. But yeah, so she gives Sal, she gives Sal the arrow, and yeah, it's like there you go. It's essentially like a 1d6 that can keep 1d6ing.
It's a magic missile, except you do need to make a roll, except it's not an attack roll. I just realized this would be super broken if you have like maxed out wisdom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
It
do you have
essentially makes
anything
it a-
else to give? Please,
Yeah, did he have anything left when you left?
Yeah, he had a blankie, for people who are afraid of the dark. He
Vellum.
had.
Who's
That was my thought too, right?
Why?
Because you're like a sun
Because
person,
you're
you
always
don't like
about
the
the
dark.
lighting things.
It's my religion.
I mean,
Alright, you're
religious people can be afraid too.
Alright, we won't like you.
Well, I'm not afraid of the dark, but I'm gonna go check this shop out.
Oh, he also had like a cloak that makes you like me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check this out and see for myself. Anyone want to come with?
Oh, like the cold doesn't bother you. Sorry, I realized that there's a lot that can be like me.
Yeah, there's a
like-
lot of things.
I'm
about
resistant
it.
to cold.
The cold doesn't bother me anyway.
With that, I'm leaving.
You let it go. Just let that one go.
Fuck's sake.
Hey, Lyska.
Yep.
5 gold ones that he comes back with the blanket.
Is there such a thing as like?
I don't want to
is-
lose. I don't want to lose that money. So no.
That's a bad thing.
Is there such a thing
Oh,
as like
speaking of losing money.
anti-inspiration?
You can take somebody's inspiration.
Yeah, that's rocks full on the
But
party.
she already spent it. Ha!
Okay, Vellum, get your ass back here. I'm not done with you.
Yep. What do you need? Oh, by the way,
Real
never mind.
important.
Oh, there was like also like a crown that made you, like, all that shit we fought in the Underdark. It makes you like effective against those. Like they can't hurt you as much.
I'll go look for myself in a second. Thanks for the tip.
What?
But by the way, I get here's the money I owe you for them gloves. And you also give the money to Lyska.
Speaking of money, look what
right,
I
yeah.
got. Holds up scroll of Revivify. Can
Oh, nice.
anyone else other than me cast this?
And Vellum just looks at Armgrip.
I'm gonna have to double check real quick, so give me a hot second.
Yeah, Liska just looks around, knowing not her.
Definitely knowing not
Pretty
Vellum.
sure the answer's gonna be no. So, I got this for 500 pieces. I would really appreciate, since I only bought it really to use on you,
The artificers
if
can
people would be
can
willing
test.
to pitch in a share.
Yeah, that sounds fair. It's for the group, so the group probably pitch in. Yeah.
Hey, artificers do get revivify.
Neat.
I'm trying to make sure I find it.
Third level, yeah.
Third level.
You have it.
Ah, I hate it when the fucking spell list gets all mixed up with,
Well, you can sort it. And
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're using 5.
There it is.
I'm
Oh,
just,
yeah.
I'm just looking at Tasha's So
Yeah. Sal just sort of perks up. I think I might be able to.
Okay.
Well, I'm
So-
still on board with pitching. Out of character,
If-
how much is that per person? Because I'm bad at math.
If
100
it's
divided by
4
5
of
is
us,
60.
or rather 4 of you. So, what is that gonna be? Well, actually, no, it would be a full 5 if she can cast it and get it off me.
yeah, it'd be 60 each.
Okay.
No, it would be,
Oh wait, 6. Sorry. No, with 5, yeah, it'd be 60 each. 60
Sal
times
sort
5 is
of
300.
looks a bit and then just. Can I trade you for something instead?
trade me the scroll.
No, I mean the gold, because I have something. And she sort of rummages through her bag a little and
What is
pulls
it?
out a spell scroll, a healing word, 3rd level. I have this.
A healing scroll, a 3rd level healing scroll?
Healing
Healing
word.
Word.
Healing word, 3rd level.
Okay. I think that's fair.
Yeah, sure. Probably.
Sweet.
Let me double check. So wait, what did you say? Did you say it was 60 gold?
It's the total that you paid was 300.
500.
Oh, then that's different. Sorry, I thought that was 300.
Yeah. That's fair.
I could do that math. It's 5 people, 100 each.
We could sort this
Shut
out.
up! It's a big accomplishment when I know a thing.
Yeah.
Shall we sort of sort this out in the background, or is this still RP to be done? Yeah.
No, I was
No,
going
it
to go
is-
shop, but then I got told to fuck back.
So yeah, 100 each.
Alright. So here's the thing. Is that I'll be willing to take that, healing scroll off of you. So you instead of the coinage. That seems fair. Anyone else who wants me to use this on them, would you be willing to pitch in some cash? You're looking
Sounds
at
like
about
extortion.
$100 a piece.
But no,
Well,
Vellum
it's
will.
not extortion. It's I spent money on a tool, and I just would like it if we work as a
I'm
group
making
and
it out of character.
share the load.
Vellum is already
Said
getting the
anything.
money. Yeah, so there you go, 100, right? I'll just palm.
Aye.
No, can I go now? I was
Yeah. Go flirt with another snake.
I don't swing that way. All right.
I will swing for snakes.
I'm sorry. Pirates.
Wait, no,
That's-
it's nothing to do with them being a snake. I mean, that's a masculine name. I'm not into guys. Anyway, I'm gonna go.
Oh, I thought you were.
Look, I thought I was a snake racer.
Call you
No,
wires in Dwarven tongue. Okay.
I'm gonna go now before I get even more. He just walks off.
Okay.
So he will find Snack Merchant.
All right.
Fuck. Slap to the leg. Just. I could have sworn he was that way, cause he was, the kinda. And he kind of like cocks his wrist.
Liska just kind of like gives him a look like, okay.
You can believe what you want.
All right.
Anyway,
So,
Vellum is going to go to Snack Shop.
so you spend about 30 minutes kind of surveying the surveying the marketplace district of the stronghold here, and it turns into about 45 minutes, an hour,
Damn it!
and you're unable
Thank
to
God.
find this supposed snake merchant.
Oh, the Naga's not that blending-inable.
You
Even
get-
if I ask around, like nobody has seen a snake with a
Yeah.
shop.
Just go ahead and make a just a general persuasion check. I was with advantage, I'd say,
Great.
because it's like, oh, hey, you're a member of the Hammer Strike, right?
Hammer strike. 23.
23. You stop one elderly dwarven gentleman. I think I saw one dragging a cart out the front gates.
Ah, shit. Thank you kindly. And with that, he's gonna sort of dash off to try and catch this snack before they fuck
Alright.
off.
Eventually, you make your way towards the front gates, and you see out in the front courtyard, this looks like a kind of very lithe figure dressed in a sort of form obscuring robe. He's pulling a cart, and it looks like he's kind of making his way up to a riding ram, a pair of them actually, and it looks like he's kind of hooking them up to the rams, and is getting set to make his way onto the road.
Venom's not gonna rush up, but he's gonna call out all the same. You don't want to seem like a desperate customer, because they will gouge the shit out of you. Hold up a sec there.
Yes. Who are you? You wish to... I'm sorry, but my shop is closed for the meantime.
Even for a reputable customer, like a member of the Maryland Security Council and hero of the recent war.
He narrows his eyes at you from beneath the hood. He gathers.
He will flash the brooch. The brooch
is unfamiliar, probably because he's not around from not from Mayland. He's a traveller and doesn't really hold much much value in sort of a
you should know
local.
your customer.
Yeah.
Look, I just want to check your wares. I heard you got some unique items. Shouldn't take too. I know how business goes. You got to move on to the next point. Sell what you can.
Very well. He kind of straightens himself and readjusts his posture. Businessman posture, if you will. And slithers around the back of the cart. These are the items I have on for sale. What catches your eye? And he goes across kind of explaining each of these items to you again.
Yeah, a bit more of a thorough explanation than the vague ones Liska gave, which is not hurtful. If all of you shut up, but Vellum is going to buy the blankets.
Called it.
Yep.
But as he sort of like, I gotta scroll up to see how much it was.
It's like 40 gold.
40 gold.
40. I'll just give him straight up money. I'm not gonna haggle for that.
An odd purchase, but I will not question it. Very well. Enjoy.
Well, it's not for me. But I must ask. I've merchant friends and being a merchant myself. I know sometimes you got the items for the more discerning customer tucked away in catchment. Are you the sort to follow that practice?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Ah, 18.
18. Give me a second. Sorry, I'm trying to...
It's fine. I mean, I wasn't going to fish for advantage, because Vellum looks like he has money, but he also doesn't, because he likes keeping himself low-key as much as possible, so it would have balanced out. Alright. Pump my back in a really awkward way.
I do have one item of interest that you might find appealing.
Kind of leans down, opens the bottom drawer, kind of unlocks it with a very, very, very intricate, kind of finely crafted golden lock. And you watch as he finishes opening it, you see the key in his hand whoosh, vanishes out of existence. Slides it open and brings out what looks like some sort of rolled up rug
Well, I'm having no idea what the fuck this is. It's not going to seem ignorant and just sort of give it a discerning look, rub the chin. Well, I could take a guess as to what you got, but why don't you give me the pitch?
This, my friend, is a carpet of flying. It was once in possession of a powerful sultan of the Kiteshi Empire, handed down through generations, before it finally made its way into Shavor's hands. This will come to you at a price of 40,000 gold.
Spicy. Well, firstly, I want to. I don't even think I can afford that, but I'm gonna. Velm's mainly curious about the origins of it. Is there any way that he might be able to recall or know, like, if that information seems accurate?
Make a history check.
Here we go. -1 history. Pop out.
You're a child of the Kadishi Empire, so go ahead and make it with advantage.
Hooray! Watch my other -1 history roll. Kapow!
Let's go.
It's okay, I tried.
Seems legit.
Seems legit. They do like their rugs. So he said 40.
40,000.
40,000.
I do not.
It appears to be about, from what you can guess, about 3 feet wide, probably 5 foot long if you unfurled it.
Yeah, I mean, even if I put all my money together, I will not have enough to even consider buying it. But he'll sort of give it a couple of moments. Sort of trying to seem like a savvy consumer. Where are your travels taking you, merchant?
My travels will take me across Mainland to Morkley, down to Ragnarok.
So you're heading towards the northern parts of the continent. Am I right? Well, my group and I have just geared ourselves up, so money's not as fluent, but I suspect I'll want to take another look at this in the future, when I see you at one of those ports of call.
Very well. I look forward to doing business with you.
We'll give a nod and leave him to get back to what he's doing.
And with that, he shuts up shop, sets off onto the road.
It's worth asking for the stuff behind the desk. Good thing Val's a merchant, otherwise I would not have had a good character reason to question that.
Yeah.
I got blank.
Savvy businessman sometimes.
Yeah. What do you mean something? he was a merchant. Don't give me that.
And eventually, Vellum returns with what looks like...
it's tucked away in the bag.
Okay.
After the comments he got when he left, he's not gonna have that turn into a whole thing.
Yeah.
He had a lot of good stuff there, but a bit too pricey for right now. At least not anything I was wanting to blow a lot of money on. So, should we get moving?
Do we have anything else that would require us to be here? Can we potentially wait one day?
What do you got on your mind?
I just want to drop this off, and she holds up the adamantine axe.
Okay.
See, you want to go back to Dunolo and drop that off, and then...
Yep. And then just,
I mean, we're probably going to find more of it in our travel. You could probably just jump and drop it off as one big chunk of it.
I mean, true, but it's just, what, a day?
Technically.
I mean, it would give Arngrim time to stock up.
Yeah. Pretty stocked up
We
already.
could...
Am I with this, or what's going on?
But Vellum's back with the group, and Liska wants to take the chunk of adamantite that she bought as part of that axe and just take it back to Dune Hollow, which would be a day's trip. And she's asking if it's cool.
Yeah, just asking for
I'd love to
24
go to
hours.
Dune Hollow.
Well, alright, I guess we're making a detour then.
All right. So
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, if any of you catch any sort of unique merchants like that with some rare goods and stuff, give me a yell, because if you know how to talk to him, you can get access to some other goods. Yeah, this he's sort of going to do a bit more of a hushed tone as they're moving, because, you know, crowds and such. He had a carpet of flying. Apparently it flies, you sit on it, and
Well, I mean, I tried, but all of you were too far away.
really, I didn't get a call in. Should have been in range. Weird.
These
Spend
earrings.
time outside. Have you also considered that whatever that magic is has to go through a literal fucking mountain?
Well, I mean, it only
Maybe
goes
that
like
will-
500.
I've been inside.
It only goes like 500 feet anyway. So
I thought you were outside. You do.
Well, that was yesterday.
Thing. Oh, sorry. Everything blends together kind of right now.
Yeah, it does get like that when you work on a project. How'd that go, by the way? Vellum has not seen the axe yet.
It went great. I made a legendary item. Wanna come see? Here, I can take you to the shop where they've got they're starting to put up little ropes around it. I broke a forge.
You melted an anvil.
Fucking hell. A little too muchy, but what did you end up making anyway? We can talk a
Yeah,
little.
you gotta fucking tap his earring. Granka, are you hiding around here?
Is that through the earring or just next to us?
you're
Yeah.
you're very quiet, Gab.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But is that him next to us or through the earring?
Nah, it's probably close by.
Oh,
So
there
he-
is. You never fucking see him.
Oh, so it was, oh right, yeah, you were gonna work on like a new weapon, weren't you?
Yeah.
Aye, you did.
Did you end up
Granka,
making
would
use
you
of that
be
gem I
willing
gave
to
you?
show him what I mean?
Oh, Granka pulls out the axe.
Fuck it out.
You pull out
Yeah.
this Vellum. You see what's this vicious-looking hand axe that looks like it's made out of obsidian and styled in the shape of like bones and spines. You can see that the head is this jagged-looking head of again sort of obsidian rock.
That is a nasty bit of kit.
Yeah, it's a battle axe and a hand axe, but yeah.
My favorite part. Here, look, turn it upside down. Show him the bottom of the handle.
Granka turns the hand.
Tiny little imprint of his clan symbol and a stylized mustache underneath him.
Ah, you put your maker's mark on it. Well, I mean, it's quality
sure.
work, so it makes sense you would.
I sure fucking did. That will go down through the ages. It's the first one I've made. I kind of feel a lot of it is up to that magical stone.
Yeah.
Didn't know about that.
Yeah. Granka pulls
Oh,
out
wait.
the Heartfire crystal.
As Gronka pulls out the Heartfire crystal, you watch as in a flash of flame, suddenly the weapon returns
was-
to a normal
But the crystal was
mold.
put in the thing.
Yeah, the crystal was put in there.
It's not in it. It's not. It's inside the axe.
Yeah, they used it for the creation.
As part as part of the enchantment there, you can put it in, take it out at will, but when you take it out, it turns to a normal a mundane battle axe. When you place it in, it transforms into eld.
But
That's good for
it
one
was
eye.
fabricated into it. That confused the hell out of me.
Yeah, a little
Because he
bit.
used the spell to put it in there.
It's
I
magic.
think this is something we will take a bit later on.
Yeah,
this
that might be
is an
later.
outside discussion.
Okay,
Yeah. Wait, so you
that
ended up-
confused me because that's different than what we talked about.
So you ended up using. Wait, so you didn't end up using the thing I gave you? You ended up using Gronka's special stone there?
Yes.
Oh,
He
that
had a
explains why I
special
had all the
stone
oomph.
It did. Though I
was about to
could
say,
add
that's
him
all
on
thing
there
is
as some
gonna-
jewelry.
Oh right, well in that case, are you not going to use that gem? Yeah, fire one.
No. Oh, here you go. Have it back.
Thank you kindly. I'm gonna try and knock together some equipment accessory for the summit with it to benefit everyone. You'll sort of tuck it away. And I guess we'll. This has probably been while we're walking and talking. But does Grunky seem different? Because he seems sad or lower in key.
I think it's just kind of a little bit overwhelmed.
You right there, Grunks?
Yeah. It's just, you know. It's a pretty cool thing, you know.
You seem very enthused.
Yeah, it's very,
It's a lot.
I feel like this is pretty important.
Looks important.
Yeah. I hope so.
Well, it's clear there's a lot weighing on you, so it's probably good we're going to take a day to Dune Hollow. Let everyone unwind from all the excitement. He gives like a Grunker like a... I can't say a pat on the shoulder because he's fucking tiny. And I'm not going to pat him on the head because that's condescending. You will lean down and give him a nudge on the shoulder. That's the best he can do without seeming condescending.
Okay, so if you want, we can sort of fast forward this day, briefly mention anything you guys want to do, and then move on to the day after if you like.
We could, I mean, we're past time at the moment, so we could sort of leave the Dune Hollow thing, because I know Sao and Arngrim and Grunko weren't at the stage of the Dune Hollow, so it gives them time to think about what they'd do instead of instantly skipping. And then we'll come back and say, okay, we want to do X, Y, Z, let's move on.
I already know what I want to do. I just
Oh, okay.
I need time.
I'm just giving people options. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to be considerate and stupid.
All right.
But regardless of what we do, as everyone's sort of walking along, you're gonna just in the most sort of little whisper to Barney. It's like, "Psst, buddy, got your little present on." It's just slip the sort of blanketish, cloakish thing. I know you like sitting on top of the wagon sometimes at night. Might help stave off the cold a little bit. And he sort of opens it up a bit, and it's all the starriness and all that business.
Eyes immediately. She too is starry-eyed at this, and she eyes immediately widen. There's a slight gasp from her, and just arms around your waist, big hug. Thank you.
Hey, calm down, no problem.
It is
You
beautiful.
do a good job keeping watch. Don't want you getting too cold.
This is beautiful, Willem. Where did you find it?
I had to chase down a merchant to find it, but it was no issue. Let's get moving, come on.
Oh, okay.
And then immediately catch up with the others.
All right.
Sorry, I had to do that a little bit because
Yeah.
otherwise I'd forget about it by next week. It's like, what did I do? Oh yeah.
So, as you all begin to make your plans for tomorrow and to set off the next day, you can leave it there if you like.
Because I only say because there's a lot to discuss. Also,
think
people
that
probably
might be
want
a
to
good
think about what they want to do.
Okay. There we go. So, I hope you enjoyed this session.
Yeah.
That was actually a
Yeah,
really good session. A lot of nice
it
role
was
playing.
really cool.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone was involved this time.
Yay. I'm glad that Angro made a fucking legendary artifact.
Now,
That was badass shit.
Oh, I'm gonna.
That was amazing.
If
Oh
we
yeah,
start
probably should
this-
stop recording.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop recording. 3, 2, 1.